My old man got me into gaming back when I was a toddler. Things may be a bit different compared to the mid-90s, and I'm not just talking about the graphics. You see, my old man's changed a bit since then. Yep, he died. Borderlands 1 is a game that I have some degree of an intimate relationship with, it being in my top 10 games. I first played it from a copy I got from GameStop, the Game of the Year edition. Not the Game of the Year edition of GameStop, that doesn't exist, but it was the Game of the Year edition for Borderlands the 1. And it had all of the DLCs, all 4 of them. During spring break, I played through most of the game with my one friend from school. While he and I don't speak anymore, I still have fond memories and associate this game with the end of winter and the start of a season full of slushy snow you try not to slip on. Slipping back into old trends, I played through as Mordecai. This being a looter shooter, some saying it's the first one in fact, I built myself around pistols since those are my go-to in games. But the discussion on hardware in this game will come later since this game is lacking in the story department, especially when you're playing it in co-op with a friend and can't really pay attention to the dialogue. Even more so when the audio cuts out on my end and I have to ask the other player to tell me what I'm missing. The looting was inspired by Diablo. While I didn't play much of those games, I found the idea of a sorta post-apocalyptic game where I can kill stuff with my friends and get better loot pretty fun as a teen. I still do, but I tend to want more from games nowadays, so this was an exploration of my changes in taste for games like this. Before I forget it, spoilers for all of the Borderlands series pretty much, except for 4. I didn't play 4, I didn't play through the Tales from the Borderlands, I didn't finish the pre-sequel, I didn't play the new Tales from the Borderlands, but just be safe. I spoil a lot of stuff. That's it. Back to past me. The game was made by Gearbox, a company known for such classics like the expansions for Half-Life 1, those being Opposing Force and Blue Shift. They also made Duke Nukem Forever, so like, you win some, you lose far more, I guess. Borderlands began development around 2005, and even within the company, they had to fight over if a game could in fact have both shooting and statistics. The art style was going to be far more average, inspirations from Gears of War and Mass Effect, though I would say the Mass Effect isn't all that average. It's in fact, it's average for the sci-fi, but it's not really average for like brown and gray and boring. But yeah, standard white dudes with cropped haircuts and a penchant for violence, as was the style at the time. You know what else was the style back then? Lots of brown and muted colors. Also, apparently, they considered the game to have too many fantastical elements to remain that brown, namely, the jump height and it having vehicles. I don't get it either, man. A game lets you drive a motor carriage and jump a bit higher. It's too unrealistic for a mostly brown color scheme? I don't believe it. Anyway, fast forward, and after having put out Borderlands 1, they began working on that failed Duke game and the non-failed sequel. Not to the Duke game, to Borderlands 1. The game is called Borderlands 2, as you might understand. Meanwhile, they neglected the paid for by Sega Aliens Colonial Marines. But that's a story for the future. I felt that I had to bring it up or else people would ask about it or something, and it was just fucking funny how greasy Randy really is, that oily man. Back to this game though, one in which I didn't have to play alone for this video. For a first on the channel, I have a guest to be on one of my bigger videos. My cousin, Dandy. Dandy, exist.
Hooray! I get to become unmute.
Yes, you exist now. Anything you want to add or any comments on the things I've said?
I did not know that Gearbox was also behind the Duke Nukem game.
Yeah, the really bad one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should I make it like a stretch goal on my Patreon, like how Dark Souls is $1,000 and I think some other game or game series is $2,000? Should the shitty Duke Nukem game be $3,000?
That would be hilarious.
Power armors for pussies. He also
I'm
voiced
here to kick ass and chew gum.
I'm all out of
Ass.
Yes. Oh. He also voiced Big the Cat from the Sonic games, if I remember right.
That's right, he did. Mm, poor Sega.
Any final
Sega.
words before we move on to the next section?
Nope, I don't think so.
Fantastic. Segway time. You know what is fantastic and timeless? Sort of like those busts of dead chicks from the Greek era. It is this game's timeless art style.
Yes, I absolutely love the art style of this game. So much so it made me very sad to hear about how a lot of it was stolen from very good artists and they were not given their credit because it is a beautiful game. God
As
damn.
as the research I double checked literally 15 minutes ago before we started this recording. Uh it was the art dude was Ben Hibben, which
Yes.
that sounds like a very Caucasian name, right? Um
It kind of
for
does.
some reason, apparently it was made for, I think it was the MTV Asian Music Festival or some shit. Anyway, he
Huh.
produced, or at least he did the art, and it was produced by some company or whatever. It was called Code Hunters. Now, the art style, like, if you look at the roads even, it looks like the roads in Borderlands. Ben apparently was in talks with Gearbox to work together for a game or whatever, because that's what Gearbox does. They make the games. As I will in the future say, but in the past you've heard, because of how videos work.
Yeah.
Gearbox made a bunch of shooter games, and they eventually want to make a game, as I explained earlier, that mixed the RPG, which for some fucking reason they assume just means you get items, with the shooting. And so what ended up happening is they told him to go fuck himself. They weren't going to work with him. They might not have been that rude, but basically they told him to go fuck himself. They changed their art style because before, the current art style, which is cell shaded or whatever you call it, it's very like comic book looking. Very the lines are
Yes.
thick and black, and it's so
Crisp.
beautiful. It's crisp. It aged very well. Even if we didn't play the enhanced edition, the graphics still would have looked decent. Anyway,
Yeah, like I remember watching you play this, when I was a kid, and I was amazed when we started this little journey that the art still looked so fucking good for a game that is a good bit older than I am.
that's not true. That's not how
Is
time
it older than
works.
I am?
No, you were born in the year 2000.
Oh, that's right, because when did it
2009.
out? Jesus Christ. I just listen. I have
Did
I
you
have
think this was a
ADHD and
PS?
as a
Did you think this was a PS2 title?
no, it's I have no concept of time.
Time and space.
So 5 years and 50 years are all the same to me.
What are you, a druid or something, or space and time bullshit?
Pretty much. Time is a social construct and not real.
Oh. Anyway, you're gonna have to wait 5 entire days for your Amazon shipping.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
But anyway, Gearbox was doing a more realistic art style, and then they talked to this Ben Hibben and saw his little Code Hunters little short film, and were like, "What if we just steal that?" And then they did. Uh,
Yeah.
since
Unfortunate.
the game art style was changed fairly late into development, and eventually led to an artist who was potentially the art director. Finding exacting details are a little tough because this all fucking happened long enough ago that I'm pretty sure that people that were born that year are adults now. I think that's how the passage of time works. Anyway,
Yeah, unlike me who thinks that 2009 is later than 2000 or earlier than 2000.
in fact, even yes. But yeah,
Uh
the lead art director fucked up in an industry. And that reminded me, there was an artist that was on the team for Futurama, and there was a chair that Bender breaks down into a beanbag, basically, by putting it into like a garbage sack and then stepping on it. And it was a very beautiful looking chair. It's one of those like Victorian era ass, like plush ass chairs, if I remember right. And he just puts it
yes.
in a sack and steps on it. And I think Fry then plops down on it. And the artist had a fucking breakdown and quit Futurama.
Aw.
Uh, but yeah, the art style is just fantastic, crisp. Characters look very distinctive. Everything looks very distinctive. Even the rocks have textures.
Yeah, like I constantly confused faraway fence posts with dogs because the coloration was similar, but like
The game is very
just
brown, yeah.
yeah, so like it's stuff that like far away you might have a little trouble telling what it is, but the closer you get to it, the more you're just like, wow, this is even just like staring off into the distance. I'm like, damn, this is a
I
beautiful ass
remember
wasteland.
you going off and then staring at literally just burning piles of garbage and
Yes,
being like, you'd be like, the scenery is so
look at how pretty
beautiful.
it is.
I'm like, that's literally burning trash off in the fucking salt fields.
Yeah. I'm just like, damn, this is pretty. And you're like, that is flaming shit.
It reminds me of how you didn't realize that piles of shit was literal regarding the skag
Yeah.
piles. Um,
Yeah.
but moving on from the timeless art style, something that in some regards might not be so timeless, but still has some pretty good merits. The humor of Borderlands 1.
Oh, it's I mean, obviously I enjoyed this game because we have a very similar sense of humor.
We do, I
So you're
cloned
just like,
you. I
we
mean, I
need to
cloned
play this game.
myself. And made and you. I mimetically imprinted upon thee.
Yes. Like a duckling.
Yeah. Or like, what the fuck is the guy from Metal Gear Revengeance? Monsoon. The guy who says memes. The
Yes.
DNA of the soul. I
Yes.
gave you the memes of laugh at
Like I
people
have
on fire.
memes and cool art and shit.
So, what were some of the things that stood out to you about the game's humor?
Uh honestly, it aged surprisingly well for me.
It did.
Um, cause like I remember again in the time that I was like watching you play this as a well when I was a kid, not you weren't
Yeah.
a kid, you were
Technically, I was also
you
a
are in fact
youngling. I was like a teenager at the
older than
time.
me, right? But like I remember like back then there weren't a lot of games that were that kind of like dry, sarcastic, wry wit,
Yeah,
which I fucking love. I love it so much.
I do enjoy it.
I love humor that is just stating the obvious in a
Yeah.
sarcastic tone.
Like, the world knows it's crazy, but it's still trying to survive.
Yeah, like the characters act as if they know that they're in a video game, not in terms of like there's no like fourth wall breaking, but they're like, "Oh, fucking great. This shit again."
Yeah. Of course the Skags ate my wife, which apparently it
Yeah.
is confirmed in 2. I guess spoilers
No.
for 2 and for you. But I did mention in the Let's Play that,
Yeah.
TK's wife got eaten by that fucking dog.
Yeah, poor TJ.
TK, ho, ho, Donkey Kong. But yeah,
I wonder if me constantly referring to him as TJ will annoy anybody.
Tijuana, Tigo Jiggies.
Oh no.
That's a little, not Bait and Katos. That's a little Banjo and Kazooie humor for you.
Yes.
For you, for you white boys.
Oh
And a
no.
small army of trans women who keep trying to convince me that, the Source engine is fun to play in.
Oh, I thought they were gonna trying to convince you to grow bigger tits.
They haven't not done that. Anyway, so,
They haven't not done that.
uh, the humor in 1 is great, and it's one of the reasons why Borderlands 1 was/is in my top 10 games. We will find out if Borderlands 2 and the other games in the series, if their humor.
And resurrect your
Well,
your passion for this game.
No, I was gonna say if they held up as well as ones did.
Yeah.
Do we address the M word situation with this game, because they are technically, apparently the thing is that one of the writers just found them really funny, and by M I mean midget.
Yeah.
Where else are we
Like,
gonna talk about the fact that the games are very, they get more intense over time? Like in the second game, they have a I'm brain farting at the moment. When two animals work together, symbiotic. That's it. They have a
Yeah.
symbiotic relationship with these like kind of fat dudes. They wear like jacket. They like thick jackets. They're not quite like
So
the
they have essentially they have midgets and maximums,
they do. But
which sounds like the worst '90s band.
sometimes it's less symbiotic and it's more, how would I describe it? Parasitic in the part of the big guys would just strap like three midgets to their shield.
Oh no.
Uh as added armor. Or is it? It might be
Yeah.
one. It might be one. Maybe there was a boss with three of them. Anyway, that's uh. I don't. Here's the thing, right? They're screaming little guys, and that's pretty funny. It is
Yeah.
unfortunate that the thing they're called is also a slur towards small people.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned this in one of our episodes that we did,
Tinks
is
is.
that,
Are you gonna
like,
bring up Tinks? Also
I
sounds like
feel really bad saying it,
yeah.
but from also what I've heard from, the community of people with disabilities like that,
The
they're like
council,
exactly, the council of the collective, if you
the
will.
lowest court, if you will.
That oh no. That it's not really like, number one, it's a very like individualized thing. Some
Yeah,
people are going to have more trauma with that particular word than others.
yeah,
But like, as long as you're not using it specifically to be derogatory, they don't really seem to mind,
yeah.
which I guess makes sense. Like, I mean, we come from a family of fairly short people. I've heard probably the whole gambit of short jokes in my lifetime,
Yeah.
and like, yeah, they also kind of piss me off, but not in the sense that you'd think. Like, I don't care that you're making short jokes. I care that you're making the same short joke
Yeah.
fucking this every time you see me for 5 years straight. Like, be creative.
I'm just picturing. I'm assuming it was like a coworker or two with
Yeah.
no difference in jokes.
Well, I mean, I did have a coworker at one of the places I worked who dubbed me Silent Thunder, which is not really like related to the short thing.
Did you
But
fart really hard?
no, it's even worse than that. This particular coworker was former military. I think he was
Okay.
in the army. And
Okay.
he's like, "Yeah, we had this one guy in our, I don't know if it's infantry or their pack or whatever, their
Their
herd.
unit?
Yes, their unit. That was like just the like quiet guy who just looked like the guy that would come in one day and shoot up the place."
Oh.
And I'm like, is that a compliment? I don't understand the story and how it relates to me, but sure, okay.
It's like during
Um
school when a teacher said you always gotta be careful of the quiet ones, and then everybody looked at my best friend.
oh no.
Were you about to say more words with your mouth?
Oh, not particularly.
Okay. Would you say that we've run the well that is humor dry?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to say about the game's humor. Like, it's very um I would say a bit more like cleaned up GTA humor, like not in
Yeah.
the sense that it's like
Yeah, it's not too
particularly
vulgar.
family friendly,
Yeah, you're
but
still. Well, did they say the fuck word in one? I don't think they did. I think I mentioned to you during the gameplay. They actually censor shit later on.
yeah, yeah, I think I make a joke about it in one of the episodes where I'm just like, he'll say hell, but he won't say shit. Which I found really
And
funny.
people burn to death in horrific manners, but they can't say bitch. Well, they can say bitch
Yeah,
as like I think they do say bitch. I think it's one of those things where it's like PG-13 swearing but not R swearing, which
yeah.
is stupid.
But yeah, like, it's in the sense that it's more refined. Like,
Yeah.
some of the bits that are funny because you have to think about them a little bit and they
Yeah.
kind of catch you off guard. And then of course they also have the obvious humor bits where you're just like, oh, okay, I see what you did there.
Yeah, some of the humor is found in the item descriptions or the item names or the
The
references to
items are
things.
so funny.
Yeah.
I love the terrible shotgun so much.
I just now realized, and this might be going off of, off a script and everything else, but I take less of an issue with the item descriptions in Borderlands than I do with the Souls-like series. With the Souls-like series, I'm like, who the fuck is telling me this information?
Yeah.
Borderlands, I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's because most of the story of the game isn't derived from Snapple Cap methods, but
Yeah.
because they're not integral to the lore, I think they get away with being just funny little snippets.
Yeah, like some of my favorite things are like even if you were playing this game by yourself, like you didn't do co-op,
Yeah,
you could still enjoy the humor.
yeah,
But it's also kind of open-ended enough that when you're playing with another person, you kind of get the feel that the characters are genuinely interacting with each other, like the
yeah. Because by the
Malachi's,
you know it'd be even funnier if his name was Mordecai.
damn it, I did it again.
Wait, hey, what's your character's
I
name?
don't It's Lilith.
Okay, good.
I remembered that one. That's the only one I can remember with consistency. I always try to be like, no, I have to make sure I do it right, and then I say the wrong one
Yeah.
confidently.
Speaking of incidental humor from playing through a game together, I remember when I was playing and I kept saying, why aren't my shots connecting? As I'm editing the footage, I can see I'm dead on what I'm shooting,
Yeah.
but either the game is just not registering the shots, or they're dodging in the time that is between me pulling the trigger and the less than a second to when the bullet lands.
Yeah, I
Like,
like these motherfuckers might just have some like super speed
they're
level shit.
hacking. Anyway, I think that we've talked enough about the humor, and I think it's
Yeah.
about time to talk about how this is the start of an entire series.
Yes.
Any fun little quips you want to say before I get into the story bits kind of technically?
I don't think so. Go ahead with the story bits.
Okay, so some backstory for the game that is either talked about. It's a thing of like, do I talk about backstory elements that are explained in later games, or do I not explain stuff like that in the context of this game? I think that
Right.
talking about it as best I can from what we get from this game better gives you the experience of playing through just this game. So I'm gonna start talking about how on the first day, Doll Corporation showed up, and everything was dog shit. They brought a bunch of prison labor. People were given the option of either staying in their cells or working in the this new planet, Pandora. Pandora is the central planet of the series, except for the newest game, which I guess we don't fucking there's no that I know I'm defying what I just said, but it's kind of important. Anyway, Pandora. It's a planet that humanity arrived on. Oh, speaking of, I guess I gotta talk about the fact that, yeah, these are just normal ass humans. I think it's in the 27th century or some shit, or like, it's either in the 2600s, 2700s, something like that. Maybe the 2800s. Anyway, corporations run everything. The Doll Corporation is a corporation that their weaponry specializes in basically, like the mall ninjas and the tactical shit where it's like, yeah, of course I've got a spare mag on the bottom of my mag. Of course I've got a red dot sight on my pistol. Of course I've got the pistol attachment for my rifle. I don't know
Oh
if you've ever
no.
seen that. You know how, like, there's shotgun underbarrels?
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's apparently ones that just let you put a pistol there. And it's like, I don't get the point of it. Anyway, Doll Corporation shows up, got a bunch of slave labor in the form of prisoners. Eventually, they realize something. This planet, which didn't seem to be all that inhabited, is in fact in the middle of its hibernation period. So a bunch of creatures with big fuck off mouths show up. Oh, fun fact. I found this fun fact, and I don't know where else to put it. I could put it into the enemy section. Okay, so the thing about skags and possibly other creatures is that, like most things, they eat with their mouths. Um, they also
As
shit
one
with their
do.
mouths.
Oh no.
Yeah, so when they vomit in the series, that's actually just them shitting, I guess.
Gross.
Uh,
I guess that explains why they have those sweet cakes.
That's the thing. Why do they have such ass if they got no? Well, I guess it might be still like the
Oh, you
reproductive
never
hole.
puked so hard you clenched your butt cheeks together?
Don't remind me. Don't remind me of the incident slash incidents. All the times when you feel like you're going to die and you're like, "Fuck, I'm in the bathroom. This is one of the worst places to
Dude,
die." They have to
legitimately.
break the door down, find my naked corpse. I've I've shitted it and I've puked it all over the
I've
place.
shitted it and pooped it in. Oh,
Anyway,
shit.
back to the main story of this fucking game. So, or I guess the backstory. Okay, so stuff wakes up. Doll is like, man, this is kind of not great. And on top of that, some crazy ass little dudes, some bandits. They found some stuff that references the vault or whatever, and so they start forming little cults. And then eventually, it's like, oh, Atlas Corporation is gonna show up and start another fucking corpo war over this planet. Some changes. I forgot. There's been retcons. Okay, I'm gonna go back to I believe what the lore didn't I? Okay, I believe I mentioned it in the game. No, Atlas showed up first. Didn't have slave labor. Didn't find anything. They fucked off. Doll showed up with slave labor. Did a bunch of digging and anyway. That's what happened. And then Atlas came back. That's as far as we know from the first game, or as far because that was isn't that what we were told in the game? I'm pretty sure Tan is the crazy
Uh,
bitch said this shit.
yeah, I think so.
That sounds about right. The audio mixing was
Yeah.
awful, and sometimes I just straight up didn't hear things.
Yeah.
I remember one time I asked, I
That
was
game
like,
does have quite a
yeah,
bit of bugs.
I was like, hey, I can't hear anything. What is Tannis talking about? And you were like, she's lonely. She's
Yeah.
sad and lonely. I'm like, that's most of her.
She's sad because her chair wants to break up with her or whatever.
She does, in fact, get into, I think, a three-way relationship with a couple of chairs in the second game.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, when you spend who knows how long alone, I guess I can see how you might start looking at your chair a little sideways, but like, there's gotta be something better
why that
than a
chair looking
chair.
smooth?
Oh no.
So,
Oh.
Doll, upon being told, hey, we're gonna start a big ol' war with ya, and also, giant, eating and shitting mouth creatures are waking up and eating and shitting our people. Doll fucked off. They brought some other people back with them, but for the most part, nah. They left, like, all the crazed, prisoners there, a bunch of their scientists, and, some amount of time later, I don't remember if it's ever said in-game, uh, we show up. I also have a note here that says Helena Pierce mentioned Sanctuary when the EchoNet went down. Oh, I guess I'll just start talking about. Okay, so and I also had to dig up more research on this too. It might be mentioned in the later games. I don't know. I'm just gonna talk about it here, I guess. The bandits, once freed, they formed clans and tribes and all that stuff, normally led by gang leaders, but some of them went on to just start having towns. As I mentioned earlier, I don't know if I mentioned to you privately or if it's in this recording, but a lot of the people we meet are just former prisoners. Some of them are less violent. Like, normally the
Yeah.
Psychos generally were murderers. They were, like,
Yeah.
just menial laborers, because all they knew how to do was kill people and talk about meat bicycles.
Yeah.
And semen.
As one do.
Yes.
I mean, what are your favorite 3 topics of conversation, if not
Murder
murder, meat bicycles,
and semen,
uh,
which is, I believe, how they say it in the one game where they just scream it loudly.
yeah. I remember one of them calling me a meat puppet, and I became very uncomfy.
That does sound very uncomfortable. If we had a sponsor, this would be a great moment to break into the sponsor, but I'm not. I guess I'm sponsored by the fact that I have a couple of patrons on Patreon. If you're enjoying these words coming out of our mouths, go on over to my. It's in the description. It's the thing. Have fun.
Yeah, sponsored by you, the audience.
Yeah, sponsored by you, the audience. Your money makes it so that I can play games in this for the sake of a dead trans dude. Anyway, one of the cities that's mentioned is Sanctuary, and apparently it's a pretty big city. And I'm mentioning it here because it's relevant to the later games. New Haven, which was formed after Old Haven got hit, I believe. I can't remember the exact details. And then there's Firestone, which is the town that we come to in the start of the game, which has also been overrun by bandits, and there's only one dude who's left alive. we'll get into him later. It's Dr. Zed.
Yeah.
But I guess that's about it regarding the start of a series. This is a game that they didn't expect it to hit off like it did. It benefits from the fact that it was a it was considered a cult classic by the fact that it was not expected to do well. It was a new genre,
Yeah.
and it sold better over time than it did. You generally want, as a game developer, for a game to do a big push in the start, but they
Yeah.
found that over time it was building up and up and up over time. So it was like a line graph that's going forward and then up slowly.
Right,
So
like,
that was
this
building up.
game, for the time that it came out, was a pretty significant risk in the sense that, like, there wasn't a lot of similar cloth, around, so it's like, people might like it, people might fucking hate it, I guess we'll have to wait and see,
Yeah.
and wait and see they did. And, like you mentioned, you can, see that sense of, like, we don't know if this is gonna go anywhere, in a lot of the storylines and the gameplay.
Speaking of, they cut
Um,
out, apparently there was, like, even in this finalized version of the game, there was yet more cutscenes and they cut them out.
yeah. Yeah.
So like a good chunk of the story is also just not fucking there. I don't
Yeah,
know if it was an issue if they couldn't get the cutscenes working in time or what, but
right?
yeah. So I'm gonna okay. So this is just the start of a series because, as they say in the game, there ain't no rest
No
for the
rest for the wicked.
wicked. I was walking down the street when out of the corner of my eye I saw a pretty little thing approaching me. She said, I'd never seen a man who looked so all alone. Oh, could you use a little company? If you pay the right price, your evening will be nice, and so you can go and send me on my way. I said, you're such a sweetling thing. Why did you do this to yourself? She looked at me, and this is what she said.
No, there ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay, I got mouths to feed, and ain't nothing in this world for free. Oh no, you can't slow down, I can't hold back, though you know I wish I could. Oh, there ain't no rest for the wicked till we close our eyes for good.
Not even 50 minutes later, I'm still walking down the street when I saw the shadow of a man creep out of sight. And then he swept up from behind, he put a gun to my head, he made it clear he wasn't looking for a fight. He said, give me all you got, I want your money, not your life, but you try to make a move, I won't think twice. I told him, you can have my cash, but first, I gotta ask, what made you want to live this kind of life?
He said there ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay, I got mouths to feed, and ain't nothing in this world for free. I said I can't slow down, I can't hold back, though you know I wish I could. Oh no, there ain't no rest for the wicked until we close our eyes for good.
When now a couple hours passed and I was sitting in my house, the day was winding down and coming to an end. And so I turned on the TV and flipped it over to the news, and what I saw I couldn't comprehend. I saw a preacher man in cuffs. He had taken money from the church. He stuffed his bank account with righteous dollar bills. But even still, I can't say much because I know we're all the same. Oh, yes, we all seek out to satisfy those thrills.
You know there ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. We got bills to pay, we got mouths to feed, and ain't nothing in this world for free. I know we can't slow down, we can't hold back, though you know we wish we could. Oh no, there ain't no rest for the wicked until we close our eyes for good. Oh, fabulous.
Next up on the things to talk about, because of the fact that I played this with my darling cousin, it is the fun and joys of cooperative play.
Yes.
Should I talk about my experiences playing in co-op before I played with you so that there's a little bit more setup? I might have
Yes,
talked about
probably.
that in the future, but in the past of this video, because it's in the setup section, and I'm like, I don't know what's a good place to put it. But
Yeah.
you might get a double dosage of the story. Anyway, long story short, I played with a friend from a grade below me back in the day, and it was summer break, and we played through the game. He played as Roland, I played as Mordecai. I played as Mordecai again because I really love Mordecai. And
He's
it
great.
he is
I love
fucking
Malachi.
oh, he becomes Spanish in the second game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he just does that, I guess.
Are you telling me you don't spontaneously become all of the
Hispanic.
French?
Um a small detail I forgot also. He didn't marry Mad Moxxi, they just dated for a bit, and then he became an alcoholic, and she was like, I don't want this in my life. It's gonna be a running joke that every character I play becomes an alcoholic between the games, at least through the first two games. Because if I remember Athena, I'm gonna play as Athena for the pre-sequel, and she doesn't become an alcoholic, I believe. She just becomes gay, which is kind of like being an
As we all
alcoholic.
do.
It's an addiction.
It sure is.
Anyway, the joys
It's
of
an affliction.
the joys of co-op. What do you have to say? Well, I guess from you, this is your first time playing through an FPS from start to finish.
Yes, and it's also pretty much my first time playing co-op for
Yeah,
in terms of actually completing a game co-op.
because we
Um
started before years ago for fun. We played through a little bit of that one platformer, Battle Block Theater.
yeah.
We played through like 8 levels or whatever.
Yeah, but
And
I'm terrible.
but we'll eventually get back into that later on for the channel.
Yes.
'Cause that's a good shortish game. But
Yeah.
would you say that this was a good game for onboarding a new FPS player?
Oh, absolutely. The way a lot of the mechanics work, and it's a lot of stuff that's not explicitly said in game. So it is nice to have a seasoned veteran who knows what they're doing playing alongside you to be like, okay, this is what this button does, this is what this button does. Don't touch that, it'll explode.
What am I seasoned with?
Like
Cajun?
paprika.
Oh. Well, there
Cajun.
is paprika in Cajun, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. Fun fact, paprika is just dried and powderized red peppers. Like bell peppers.
Oh, that's neat to know.
Yeah.
I assumed they would be some other pepper because, yeah, bell
Yeah,
peppers
I
aren't that
also thought it
spicy.
was yeah, I always thought it was like a spicy pepper, maybe a red chili pepper or something,
Yeah,
but nope.
delicious. Delicioso.
DiGiorno.
Speaking of Mordecai.
Malachi.
Speaking of DiGiorno. I'm sorry, but you're gonna get a history lesson. I know you're here to listen about Borderlands 1, but I'm gonna tell you a little thing about corporates. Listen, it's fitting. It's like the Doll Corporation. Anyway, a bunch of fucking crackers, wasps, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant types. They were sitting around and they were circle jerking about what are we gonna call our frozen pizza brand, and one of them was like, what if we get one of them Italian boys that knows how languages work, and he makes up a fake name. And so they went with the most stereotypical naming sound that they could find that also sounds like it
Oh,
could be some dude's last name, and
and not
DiGiorno was
Tony
born.
DiGiorno.
Not Sloppy Tony.
Oh no.
I want
Is
to.
he Big Tony?
They should make a video game where you're isekai'd into the DiGiorno dimension. And you play as the villain.
You become part of the DiGiorno mob family.
No, you play as the villain. You know who the villain is in the world of DiGiorno?
Who?
Delivery.
Oh yeah.
You
I
play
was
as
gonna say the customers that die from heart failure.
Listen, man. That's what it comes down to.
I mean, that's the cost of pizza.
As Mario once said, you must never.
$5.99 and heart failure.
I don't know if Mario ever said that, but I do frankly remember the time that he stopped stomping on turts and he turned towards the audience and he said in a perfect American accent, "You must never regret what you've done for spaghetti."
Yes.
Anyway, helping you through the game was part of the fun. working together during the fights as a team and building strategies. In fact, in the next game, Maya, the character you'll be playing as, is apparently really good for people that know what FPS games are, but are still kind of new to
Nice.
them. And you're going to be able
Nice.
to work as a healer and stuff, which kind of ties into the
Huzzah!
stereotypical idea that girls as gamers are stuck as like the healers and support, but you're still going to be shooting a lot of people and putting them into balls.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, because honestly, I think the co-op portion made me love this game because I think if I had started playing it on my own
yeah,
and I had no idea how the controls work, I probably would have gotten frustrated and just been like, I don't need to do this. Like I like the art, but I can watch other people play this.
yeah,
But again, having a seasoned veteran who knows what they're doing and can explain certain mechanics,
riddled with
as well
cages.
as someone to save my ass when I inevitably am still terrible because I'm in the learning
It
phase,
reminds me of
is
the time
really
I was
nice.
infinitely spinning.
Yeah, that was a strange time for all of us.
Horrible time. It was the
The
best of times.
incident
It
of
was the worst of
infinite
times.
spinning.
What
Can
is
I
this?
offer you an egg in this time of infinite spinning?
What is this? JoJo Part 8?
Oh
Which will
no.
probably get animated in 4 years. We gotta
But yeah,
cover
just
JoJo on the channel as well.
oh my god, yes.
Their video games,
Yo.
the most recent JoJo games, actually do have an almost Borderlands art style because they have that cel shaded nature to them.
Yes, I absolutely love that kind of cell shading. It's which is funny because I don't like comic books, but I did really enjoy the visuals of this game.
Yeah. Is your issue with
As
comic
gross as
books
some of
the
them
issue that
were.
like the stories are kind of bad most of the time?
I think sometimes. I think it's more so just like it's basically a more simplistic book for me. I'm just like, if
Hmm.
I'm gonna read something that's got, 100 pages, I'd rather read like a more cohesive story than like, oh, the girl got kidnapped and now the hero has to go save the lady while also saving the town and shit. Like, because the most comic books I had like been introduced to at the time were,
Yeah.
superhero comics.
I
Like
think it is. It might just be an issue of superhero comics kind of being bad a lot of the time. One of
Yeah,
my
where
main
there the
issues is that there's so
story
many
is kind of
runs.
all the. Yeah, that's what's crazy to me. It's just like
What do you
here's
mean
the
there's
same
17
story with
Batmans?
different characters.
But they're the same guys too. Is the worst part. It's
Yes.
like how many times can you have the Jonkler and not once do anything interesting with him?
Yeah.
Well, I
Ugh.
guess some people did interesting things, but it's like 10% of the
Yeah.
things were
This is
interesting.
why I write fan fiction.
Yeah, like last night I had a great idea regarding the World of Darkness, and I was like,
Yeah.
what if a dude was a vampire and then he was like, I want to be Batman. And not
Nice.
like a normal dude. He's still rich and shit. And he's like, I could be Batman. I could dress up as a fucking dork and go around fisting
I
men.
could. Oh no. I could be a literal bat fisting men. I could be Batman, but better.
What
Oh
were
no,
your
it's like Ant-Man where he just flies up the villain's ass and injects him with rabies or something. You'll die in 7 to 10 business days.
Oh no, cuz he's rich.
Oh no.
Johnny Amazon.
Oh no.
How what is the oh goody chemical? Is it serotonin or dopamine?
I think it's dopamine. Serotonin, I think, might be the sleepy chemical.
I can't remember. I know that one don't you need I think you need both. I think you need
Definitely.
serotonin to I think it also had something to do with depression. Anyway, so
Oh yeah,
dope
yeah, maybe. Yeah, because SSRIs are serotonin reuptake inhibitors, I think.
yeah. But how are your dopamine receptors when you got new hardware and stuff during co-op?
Is legit, I mean, legitimately so much fun to find new guns. I think half the time, like, you were trying to, look at, like, our quests and stuff, and I'm
Yeah.
just fucking off in the distance looting shit, because I want good guns. Or
Yeah,
I want shit to sell to get more money.
too bad only like 5% of the guns are good.
Yeah.
Probably like 1 out of 20 is like, yeah, this is a good gun. Which that
Yeah.
number got rarer and rarer as we went to the end game, and people were
Yeah.
just dropping trash assault rifles.
Which is so funny, because in the DLC, we got, like, what, 2 double anarchies? I think we
Yeah,
got
near
another
in the last
Hellcat.
one, we got a bunch of shit.
And it's
And
just
we
like,
we got the
dog.
didn't we get the Hellcat right before fighting General Knox for the first time?
Yeah, I think
I think it
so.
was in that DLC. But anyway, talk about the class-based gameplay.
Honestly, I really loved it. Because I'm a big nerd. If if the audience hasn't noticed about me,
Get
playing these kinds of games with you,
prove your
and just
capabilities. Give a random obscure animal fact.
oh, did you know that raccoons have a bone in their penis?
I didn't, but I'm familiar with the bone boner because I think gorillas have them and other primates and shit.
Yes, double fun fact. Apparently, RFK Jr. uh also cut off a rat's dick to get said dick bone. To just have.
That
Because who doesn't want a rat's dick bone displayed on their mantle?
I hate the fact that we are in a comic book because that does sound like a villain thing to do. That sounds like the villain
It does,
origin
doesn't it?
story of a
It
dude
sounds
with
like
a
a guy that Batman would fist vigorously
and he
and
likes it.
without mercy.
Oh, to make it worse, I one of the core ideas of that character I was thinking of was he's a Ventrue, and the thing about Ventrue is their flaw is that they're picky about blood, and it's less so just like, oh, I need rich people blood. They literally can't get sustenance, and I think it hurts them or whatever to drink not of the blood that they want, and it can be anything from like left-handed people, people born
Oh
in March. But I was
no.
like, how do I do victim has to be unwilling, but in a non-bad way? And I was like,
Right.
well, thugs are unwilling, but you generally just kill them in most games. What if he's
Yeah.
like, I gotta become the knight. I gotta become Batman.
I could just beat them unconscious and then steal their blood.
Yeah, just suck them off.
No
Anyway,
need for consent to take blood if they're not conscious.
I hate the fact
And
that
criminals. I want to
Batman's
make that very clear. Non-consensual blood taking is only okay if
with
it's a criminal.
like fucking Mr. Shank.
Oh no, yeah. He did have a cool ass scar and, literal shank through his face.
Yeah. The class stuff, the skills. What are your thoughts on the skills now that you've finished the game? How easy were they to get into, to understand? What did you like about the skills? Stuff like that.
I absolutely loved the skill trees. Again, huge nerd. So, like, I love the idea of being able to customize your character in ways that make it better, but also make sense to the story. Um, like, of course the girl that can phase walk is gonna be benefited by being able to do that longer or having a shorter kind of reuse time or a cooldown for that.
You can even call it a refractory period.
Exactly. Oh man. um but yeah, it's also really cool. I love that they let you respec for
Not too much
relatively
money.
cheap.
It
Yeah,
was
like it's usually pretty relative to your level,
yeah, it was like one.
and
It
how
was
much
like
money
one to
you
five
have.
percent of your money, so which is not a whole lot.
Right, it's just like it's not gonna set you back a house. It's gonna be like, oh well,
It's probably like a
maybe I
loot
don't
run's
get
worth of
eight.
money at most.
Yeah, it's like maybe I don't get 8 coffees this week.
And
But yeah, I love that
yeah,
they let you redo it if you go into a particular skill and you realize you don't like it all that much, or you see something that you want a bit more because it's more helpful for certain areas of the game. And the fact that you can just do that infinitely throughout the games is great.
Yeah. Some games, some RPGs only let you respec, and I do feel like the less a game is about the story and it's more about the gameplay, the more like you should be able to respec. I feel like
Yeah, the
with a
more
story
those
based,
aspects of the
yeah,
game become important,
yeah,
because if the story is like, you can kind of get through a semi okay story if the mechanics of the game are really cool.
yeah,
Um like, I think the big reason that, games like FNAF, for as simple it is got so popular is because of, the mechanic of, like, sitting in a room and having to actively look, but you can't just, like, get up and go around the corner like you would in a lot of other games. Um, like, you're sitting there and waiting for the bad guys to come to you and hope that you close the door in time or whatever.
right. It was in fact it's spawned its own genre, like the Border of the Lands.
Yes.
My primary issue is the Five Nights at Freddy's. I ran through every fucking F I could think of.
Yeah.
Was I'm not interested in the gameplay really. And after like the third game, the lore got to the point where it was obvious that he was just rewriting shit, which I
Yeah.
gotta bring up before I forget. Borderlands 1. The plot was basically scrapped together. Elements from the later games were retconned. Handsome Jack had nothing to do with Borderlands 1. Uh,
Yeah.
they didn't know what the fuck they were doing with the rest of the plot stuff. I don't want to spoil too much for you and potentially the viewer for the later games, but a lot of Borderlands 1, they just like they didn't expect it to do well enough to get a
Yeah,
sequel.
and
So,
I I honestly, I will say, I think that is kind of the biggest downside to the first game,
yeah.
is that a lot of the really cool aspects of the story just aren't explained well, or are completely, like, undone by later games. Um just cuz they didn't really know, like, they didn't have an idea for where it could go if it took off. And like you said, I think the FNAF series suffered from that same fate of, like, oh, this took off and it made me a lot of money, so I guess I better make a sequel. How do I make a sequel good, though, when I've fucking made this the most complicated shit ever?
I miss when it was just about dead kids and robots.
Yeah, dead robots, or dead kids in robots.
But before
Again, kind of dead robots. I mean, if the dead kids get absorbed into the robot and they get released, ew, um, does that then mean the robot died or the kid died twice?
the kid would have moved on. Are we identifying the animatronic as its own Is this an Azrael versus Flowey situation?
Oh no!
Did you have any inkling I was about to put this on you?
A little bit, yes. I knew when you were like, okay, is it its own entity? And I'm like, oh no, what have I unleashed?
Yeah, because I'm just sitting here and I'm like, as soon
What
as
hell have I wrought upon my own making?
like does would the death of Flowey but the ascension of Azrael, it's that sort of, I think it's that sort of a situation. You gotta kill Flowey to get rid of
Yeah,
it. Like, but that does that also kill Flowey? Is Flowey
right.
a mucus and blood leaking automatron?
No.
I have to say it now, or else I'm gonna forget. There is a piece of graffiti, bringing it back to the humor, or at least the witticisms of the game, stuff like that. There are philosophical concepts, and I can't remember the details right now, and I don't really want to stop the recording to go and check Wikipedia. But basically, there's some ideas of like, and I believe it's brought up in Discworld, that the world is held up. The world is a series of. It's either on the back of a series of turtles all the way down, or something like that, and it's like carried by a big ass elephant and shit like that. It's anyway. There's graffiti in the game, and I didn't point it out. I believe it was at that. Remember the really big fucking bandit camp near the end of Arid Badlands, where it's on the left before we exit the area to the Doll Headlands.
Yeah.
The one where we got like the 10 skulls out of. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe one of the graffitis is in one of the two shacks, either like up top or down below, where it's in that divot.
Love Shack.
Which one is the Love Shack and which one is the Hate Shack? Because there's two of them.
No. Oh, do you remember Hate Camp?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, I love Hate Camp. That's another really good example of this game's humor. Like, it's just sometimes you come across things and you
It's just
read...
absurd. That's the thing I forgot to say. I love absurdist humor, and a lot of the when the humor is good and wacky, it's because of absurdism. It's not because of memes from 2012.
Yeah. It's not what the game spawned, it's what the game is.
Ugh. But I think that's about it for talking about co-op, unless you have any other things you want to talk about co-op.
I don't think so. I think the only thing I'd add is that I personally find co-op a lot more fun when it is in fact actually cooperative and you don't just have a bunch of friends fucking each other over for no reason.
Yeah, or they're playing it for you. I've had experiences where I would join a game with a friend who knew more about the game, but they would basically just steamroll the mains. Like, a friend wanted me to play Terraria with him, and instead of like basically being my guide, which is what I tried to be for you, he just blitzed through. How much? I don't know how much you know about the Terraria. I don't know much, but eventually you have to do some shit to like trigger a major event, and he just speed ran to that, getting more and more materials. That I was like, I was still on like the basically tier 1 materials, and he was on like tier 3 or 4. Like he was fucking speed running this shit.
Yeah. Like, and that's a big reason I, for a very long time, didn't play first-person shooters, especially in co-op, because I'm like, I don't know enough about this genre, and also, like, you guys are just fucking camping and killing me immediately. How am I supposed to learn how am I supposed to get better at the game if you're constantly fucking me over in the game?
Yeah, and then I had a thought, but I lost it.
Oh.
So, oh fuck,
Gotta
what
tie
was
it to a string next time.
I'll bring up something that I don't know what other section it would go into, but what do you want to see regarding co-op moving forward, or like how the characters are made, stuff like that? What sort of like game mechanics or like quality of life things would you like to see going forward? Some of the things you probably won't bring up are things that they added to this enhanced, like there was the mini map and stuff like that. But what stuff would you like to see that are mechanically different going forward? Perhaps even like regarding how the classes are set up and things like that.
I don't particularly know. I will say, because I think you mentioned in like private conversation that some of the games like get rid of the like friendly fire thing, which I personally am looking forward to, because damn, is it really annoying to accidentally kill someone who's helping you because you can't help but shoot through them.
I vaguely think that grenades still hurt us, but I think bullets don't hurt us going forward.
Nice.
I remember having to tell somebody, potentially the Scandinavian, who, if I can get him on the channel, I kind of want to call him the Scandinavian, against his fucking will. But he's not allowed explosives in most games. He finds horrible ways to use them. Also in GTA 4, he's cursed. Like, the game did shit that it's not supposed to. Whenever he drove, and only when he drove in GTA 4 multiplayer, which is basically just like an open lobby, you just drive. There's no like quest missions basically.
Right.
If he was allowed to drive in co-op in multiplayer, the game would spawn an exploding helicopter above us and drop it.
Oh no!
And it's every fucking time he was allowed to drive. And I had no explanation for it. It was fucking weird.
It sounds like it.
Like, and it's just the point where it's like, even the game doesn't want you to drive.
Even the game doesn't want you to do this.
Saints Row, also not allowed to drive, not allowed to use throwing explosives while he's being driven. He has to use bullets.
Yeah.
Because he would just toss fucking C4 when I'm not looking and then blow shit up. I'm like, I'm trying to keep the car together. But were you saying
Oh,
you're
you mean
hoping?
somewhat similar to me just blowing up random enemies as we
Oh
drive
no!
past them?
You were saying,
Don't aggro them! Up, too late!
but you were about to say something about hopefully in the future something.
Oh yes, I really hope the driving mechanics improve,
Oh,
because
is
like
less
I don't
bad.
plan to do because I don't plan to do a whole lot of driving, but the thing that bugged me the most, I think, is dying and then ending up so far away that I'm like,
Yeah,
great, I have to figure out how to maneuver this vehicle to get back over there, or I'm gonna be running for 4 real life days.
I believe in 3. Like with some of the gunplay, they made the driving better. I believe in 4,
Fantastic.
there's spawn on player added, so you can
I
just
thought you were gonna
spawn.
say, and in 4 they made it worse.
Oh, I mean, some things are worse, and 3 and 4 both have issues from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Um, but we'll get onto that a long time from now.
Yeah.
So, with all that said, it's time for the next section, our arsenal. So, do you want me to
Yes.
go first with the guns? I've been letting you go first. Do you want to go first with this as well for your thoughts on the weapons and stuff?
Sure. I honestly I really loved the array of guns. Um Even with like the grenades, there was such a massive amount of like different things you could do with them.
Yeah.
Like you could get the transfusion grenades and have it heal you by stealing life from the
And it's
enemy.
the best, so I
Or
use nothing else.
yeah, or you could use like sticky grenades so you
Yeah.
don't have to like aim as hard.
There's
Or you can
there's
like
like the
draw enemies
longbow
in.
ones too where they shoot off
Yeah,
really
where they go
fast.
fast as fuck, boy.
There were, I don't know if we found any, but there's basically mines, and that could work with a sniper, but the thing is they don't do enough damage, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Brick and maybe Roland has things that boost explosives, but I don't think there's a true grenade build in 1. In 2 there is with the soldier, I think.
Nice.
But I'm not using the soldier, neither of us are using the soldier, so that doesn't matter.
Correct.
Do you want to talk about your favorite types of weapons that you got to work with?
Ooh. I personally really loved the SMG. I did also become very partial to shotguns. Simply because again, I'm very bad at getting, or at least the problem I ran into is not being able to judge how far away from an enemy was too far away for it to actually be damaged by a hit.
Right.
So I would I'd be like trying to shoot the off distance enemy, and then by doing that, getting the attention of all the closer enemies, so they would dogpile my ass, and then I would just switch to the shotgun and blast them in the face.
Right.
Because it was incredibly easy to do so, especially when you get some of the higher powered shotguns. They're fucking great. But I love the range, and like you have a lot of like really good distance weapons that aren't necessarily snipers. You have a lot of really good close quarter kind of combat weapons that aren't necessarily like a shotgun or a pistol. Um and you get to learn, they teach you really quickly what weapons are good for what things.
Mm-hmm. As well as classes as well. Classes tie into the arsenal
Yes.
and the fact that yours had some stuff for SMGs and also some of the skills, even if they didn't say SMG, they would benefit SMGs because
Yeah.
increasing rate of fire by 25% on any gun is good. But with an SMG, you're already spitting out a lot of lead. Now you're spitting out
Yes.
25% more lead.
Even faster projectile lead
And
poisoning.
I was just about to make a joke about boomers. That's the rate at which they wanted to get lead poisoning 25% faster.
Yeah. Mm, paint
It'll-
chips.
Here's the wild thing: lead apparently tastes sweet, so they were eating
Yes!
because these dipshit children were like, "Yo, they
Dude, I
painted these
remember
walls with
my
candy."
parents, the one time we lived in like an older built house, they
Yeah.
were like, do not eat the paint. There might be lead in it. And I'm like, who the fuck is eating the paint?
Wait. Okay, I don't know which is funnier. Little baby you saying this, or like what age were you?
I was a young lass of the ages between 5 and 7, I believe.
Okay. That is within the age that maybe a kid would lick paint, but like that's still very much approaching the
Yeah,
why
I'm
the
like, if
fuck
I
would I
know
do
enough
that?
not to touch a snake because it might be venomous, I know enough to not eat fucking paint chips in the house.
Yeah, though the way you worded that is the implication that if they were outside the house, however,
That is true. I mean, it might look tastier in the sunlight.
it might. These LEDs really fuck up the way that lead paint tastes. So anyway, you want to talk about the best gun and you got it?
Oh my god, the Hellfire was so fucking fantastic.
Yes.
Like, I already very quickly fell in love with the SMGs, because again, I'm not super great at shooters, so something that can burst fire and do a decent bit of damage is great for me. Um, but like, to have it do all of that, and then also set people on fire, and hear the absolute screams of the damned as they burn to death, is my favorite thing about this game.
It is just so.
Aside from the art style.
Yes.
The art style only gets deducted points because the company was a fuck ass and decided to steal.
Yes. I don't know if we should talk about it here because it has nothing to do with this, though you did bring something up.
Ah,
It
yes.
could be in the character section, but I don't know if I'm gonna remember that. But you know what else you really appreciate about this game?
What?
And there's two of them.
Baps?
Yes.
Tig old biddies?
Who specifically though?
Uh, uh, Mad Moxxi's titums.
Yes.
Fantastic. I very much appreciate a well-proportioned Lady of the Night.
What if I told you that not
And murder.
only are her tits part of our arsenal, not just because my character canonically fucked her until whiskey dick became a problem, but
Yeah.
also she has
I mean, that'll
guns.
happen when you're an alcoholic.
She has guns in the future.
Yes!
What special features do you think her guns have?
Tit magic?
You're not wrong, but there's two specific features. I'll give you a hint. They are based around love and sensuality.
Oh, that's neat. I have no idea. I'm very bad at guessing things.
Okay. Do you want to know the kinkier of the two first? Or the
Sure,
more
why
mechanic? Okay. It vibrates your controller. Like
Fantastic.
like I think all the time. I can't remember exactly, but it vibrates.
Yes.
The other
She's
thing,
got good vibrations.
they heal you when you hurt people.
That is amazing, because again, I'm terrible at aiming.
What does healing have to do?
Well, because I can't. I get.
Oh, you
hurt
get
because
shot
I
more.
Suck at yes, I get shot more because I suck at aiming, and then have my ass meleeed by enemies.
I have a potential idea. Do you want to swap who we play in the second? If you do, you want to get better at aiming, or do you want aiming to not matter? Because learning
Uh,
how to shoot is good for playing the rest of the series. But in two, and not too long into the game, I don't gotta aim.
nice.
I shoot the floor and it bounces off and it hits people for like a lot more damage.
Ooh, nice.
Like up to 800% more damage.
Oh my god, that's
It
a lot.
gets
That's a lot of
insane.
damage.
It is. It's sort of like how after exiting Phase Walk, once you had Silent Respite in this game, you just took like a lot less damage.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about my guns in this game now.
Yes.
In every game, I love pistols and I love handguns. I love revolvers. I love pistols. They're fantastic. I sometimes when I play first person shooters, and normally you're using rifles and shotguns and whatever else, I try to make a pistol work. I went through a good chunk of Ghost Recon Wildlands, which is a really, really big game. It's like way too fucking big. I don't know if we'll ever cover it on the channel. The story is also not great. Anyway, my friends, they're using their silenced, which you generally have all your shit silenced, but they have,
Right.
their combat ready assault rifles and all that good stuff. Which, before I forget, this game calls them combat rifles, not assault rifles, and that tripped you up first buying ammo because you were looking
Yes,
for
it
assault
did.
rifle and it said combat. Right.
I was just
Anyway,
like,
I cleared with friends using like rifles. I would use a sniper rifle if I needed to go long range, but if it's like short range, I got most of my kills using a silenced pistol. I went with the fastest shooting pistol. I have a really fast trigger
yeah,
finger, so if the gun allows you to fire as fast as you can pull the trigger, which some games have artificial, like this game technically has an artificial lock on how fast you can pull the trigger.
yeah,
I love pistols. Crit builds are great. I do that in
yes,
most games. With this, there is a classification of revolvers that mixes them with one of my other favorite kind of weapons, shotguns. The Masher
yes,
is a revolver that shoots like a shotgun. But this game
yes.
is also chock full of, except for S&S guns, and I believe that Vladoff and T was pump action shotguns, right? But
Maybe.
there were a bunch of shotguns. There were also revolvers.
Yes.
Like, that's how they were fed. But the
Yeah,
Masher, it's a revolver, and each pellet does less damage, but you've got so many of the pellets coming out that as long
yeah,
as you make the hit, you're doing like twice as much damage. And plus, it
yeah,
also scales a bit with how crits work, I believe. I think that is almost multiplicative.
yeah. There is also something just because, like, I
Th-
think in the beginning of the game, one of the first weapons you get, I think, is a pistol.
yeah.
So I did have a pistol for a little bit. I just never ended up using it a whole lot because I was better at other weapons.
Yeah, you wanted the oh
Um,
shit factor of the shotgun. This is actually
yes,
I love
and
I love how this playthrough is very much an exploration of what it is to be like a first time gamer for a thing.
yeah, uh, but yeah, I will say there is something unnaturally satisfying about absolutely ma- massively blasting someone in the face with either a pistol or a shotgun. There is just something about the amount of damage it does and the visual effect you get when you do it in close range that is incredibly fun.
Yes, it is such. Sometimes they explode.
Yes, or
You,
they catch acid.
it's great, and their weak points are always funny. It's their heads, it's their mouths,
uh
their asses sometimes. In fact, in
yes.
3, I know for a fact there's a bandit, and his like weak point
I
is
mean,
his
as
ass.
someone who's also got decent cakes,
Yeah.
they are a bit of a downside.
Yes, and that's not even getting into if the skin
They
itself
are
is
a quite
sensitive.
large target.
Some bad stuff to talk about the game. Iron sights are fucking deplorable for most weapons, especially
Yeah,
pistols.
I was
They
gonna say yeah, but I
they
just admitted I don't use the pistol.
yeah, they generally didn't have sights. They didn't have the
Yeah.
ridges, and they wasn't even a case of
Oh
like having
no,
a gutter snipe
it
sight.
wasn't even for my pleasure.
Yeah, it's not ridged at all for my pleasure.
Oh
A
no.
gutter snipe sign, I think that's the way you term it. Do you remember the A Light Shining in Darkness pistol from New Vegas, the one that was Joshua Graham's?
Oh yeah, yeah,
That has a gutter snipe pistol. Basically, they drill like a groove down the top of the gun, and the negative space with the two edges of the negative space forms the sight.
yeah,
I think sometimes they tried doing that in this game, where you look through like the divot or whatever, you look through like the little half
yeah,
circle, but they'd have something in front of it or something in the back of it, and that blocks the top.
yeah,
And it's
for
just like,
sure.
this is bad, and I don't think they fix it for the most part until like 3.
Yeah, cause like, I think I mentioned it quite a few times again in our playthrough, where I had a lot of trouble, even with the scoped weapons, being able to tell if I was like actually shooting high enough,
Yeah.
or I'd be sitting there like unloading on an enemy, and I'm like, why isn't this doing anything? And it's because every time I shot, the gun would drift down, so I needed to aim higher and it's so frustrating, especially when there is a lot of enemies like coming at you all at once. That's what she
Yeah.
said.
I was about to make a
Um,
Bukake joke. But
oh
yes.
no. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's it seems like such a non-issue, but it takes you out of the world a lot because like you can get really enamored in both the story and in the gameplay itself, but it's such a fucking disconnect to be sitting there and being like, okay, why aren't my shots hitting? And then aiming a little higher, and you're like, oh, it's because the fucking sight's awful on this gun.
Yeah. Some
Especially when you find a gun that you really like that does decent damage, but the scope is absolute shit, so you can't
Yeah.
fucking hit anything
I
with
only
it.
like the circle scope.
Yeah.
The one with red and shit. Anyway, two
Yeah.
things. Do you prefer this is the first of the two. This is a like you'll understand what I mean. All right. Bukake or Bukaki? How do you think it should be pronounced? I've heard both.
I usually do bukkake.
Okay. You do it?
I mean,
Impressive.
oh
I didn't know you had
no.
so
Well,
many
yeah.
penises.
I mean, I have a whole closet for them.
Oh,
They have their own wardrobe.
fantastic. But the second thing is that sometimes accuracy is just kind of ass. And as
Yeah.
a side thing, I think I mentioned it as I was playing. Sometimes I would just, shoot from the hip,
Yeah.
even with a sniper
And that
rifle.
yeah, that is also something that could be like sometimes it's hard to tell if just the weapon you have the accuracy is shit
Yeah,
or if the game is fucking glitching.
yeah. I
Cuz
as the
I
footage
remember
shows, I sometimes I straight up was shooting, and there would be 3 or 4 shots in a row. I'm dead center with the reticle, and there's no reason why none of the shots connected.
yeah, or you'd turn to me and be like, "You need to keep shooting that enemy." And I'm like, "It's already dead. What do you mean?"
Oh,
And you're just like, "Oh, on my screen, you absolutely were not hitting it at all. You missed completely." And I'm like, "Well, on my screen it's dead." So,
oh no. I think yeah. At the beginning, there was a disconnect with the shotgun. I noticed that
yeah.
um while you were in fact missing the dog, you were missing in a way
Yeah.
that didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like the where the bullets were impacting. And one time, it was straight up bullshit or impossible luck, where
Yes.
it showed you shooting. The shot went through the dog, like the collection of the shot, and I'm like, either there was the exact spawning of it, so it was just circling the dog, or the game didn't register it as a hit. But
Yeah.
visually, it's like Morrowind in that sense, where like it's not
Yeah.
really a dice thing in this game for like the most part. You know, with some degree of damage, I believe there is some variation at times.
And
The
especially with a game where the whole point of the enemies is to like find the weak point. So when your accuracy is dog shit and you're aiming at the weak point and you're like, why won't this fucking thing die? And you realize it's because according to the game you're just not fucking hitting it is
right.
really fucking annoying.
An annoying thing, and this isn't like super duper the game's fault. Sometimes enemies are assholes. Like the dogs will be doing their fucking scream, and
Yeah.
I've noticed that pulling your gun out sometimes, the gun itself is slow to pull out when like I don't know if there's a secret speed thing, but sometimes it's just like
Right.
god damn it. I'm trying to get a shot in. He's only screaming for like 3 or 4 seconds, and it's gonna take
Yeah.
5 fucking seconds to pull this gun out.
Yeah, and then you get fucking hit with acid or some shit because you're
Yeah,
trying to aim at the mouth.
fuck. Also with snipers, and I don't know the math behind it, but it's something like if the accuracy isn't at least like 94%, it's basically a dog shit sniper
Yeah,
because the
might as well be a
variation.
shotgun because it's not fucking useful.
Yeah, at range, it's because the less accuracy, the more spread the reticle has. But the thing is, when you're scoped and you're aiming, you don't see that. And so it
Right.
becomes a thing of like, there's a random chance that 50% of the shot area isn't the thing you're zoomed in on
Yeah, yeah.
because it's a larger spread than what the point is showing.
Right.
I think any other issues with guns you want to talk about before we move on?
I don't think so. The only issue I think I ran into, and this may just be user error, is like the the thing with clips sometimes is like the light machine guns, I think it would be like, oh, it has, a 12 clip capacity, but it shoots 3 shots at a time. And I'm like, that's not what I thought it was.
Can you repeat what was the main issue? I was replying to a message.
Mm. Just the kind of lack of description about how a gun actually shoots until you shoot it, which I guess is
Mm.
the reason that you encourage me to, like, if you get a new gun, try it out before you just, like, keep it in your arsenal, because
Yeah.
that's how you get your ass
Did
eaten by
did
dogs.
you not see the marker on the item card where it says how much ammo is in each magazine?
Probably not.
Oh yeah, I think it's on the right side.
Yeah, I
It's
did mention that it very well could be user error. I could just be, like, not being that observant. But I remember, like, looking at the clip and be like, oh, it's got 12 shots, and then shooting it, and it shoots 3 rounds at a time, and I'm like, this is not helpful to me.
right. So, barring any other issues regarding the hardware of the game, because shields don't really you saw some variety in the shields, but
Yeah,
they're more defined in later games. Anything else before we move on to the next segment?
I don't think so.
Without further ado, our next segment, our enemies.
Quite possibly, like, I would say the enemies are, in fact, more interesting than a lot of the story. But
You're not wrong.
that could just be because, we were listening to a crazy lady who tried to have sex with her desk or something.
It's one of my favorite fetishes. Is not like that. I don't have this, but it's like one of my favorite
love
ones.
Fucking furniture, Gordon.
No, specifically desks, like work desks, because the people that
Yeah.
get it are generally desk workers. And so
Yeah.
I don't know if it's some sort of sexual frustration that's leaking out into something else, but it's because the thing about the difference between a fetish and a kink is that a kink is something that you like. Fetish, you gotta have it.
Yeah.
And so they need desks. Like they gotta fuck on a desk. There's gotta be a desk within sight or something like that.
Yeah.
Or they're
The
thinking
cuck desk.
under.
Make the desk watch.
Fuck under the.
Stop working from home until the desk behaves.
I didn't wake up today, and then
you were gonna talk about
the cuck desk
with your cousin.
A horrible band name.
Fuck. Oh, no.
Cuck desk with your cousin.
No. Oh, this is Cousin and the Cuck Desks. No. You ever get that laugh that makes your fucking stomach hurt?
Yeah, normally I almost pass the fuck out. Thankfully, this is not one of those moments. I almost blacked out and fell over, and people thought I potentially died.
Yeah, honestly, are you truly living life to the fullest if you haven't laughed so hard you make other people concerned for your well-being?
I think you've said these exact sequences of words before.
Probably.
The exact same
Are you getting
wording.
weird deja vu?
I'm like, I think you've said this exact same thing, but it was privately to me. I just find it funny that, like my favorite artist, Keith Thompson, it's a very specific wording.
DM. Yeah. Oh, man. Like how I fucking got myself with my joke that I made in our Borderlands playthrough.
Well, speaking of Borderlands, we should probably talk about the game a little bit more.
Yeah. Oh.
As if that's what the video's about.
So much.
Oh, fuck. What do you love about the enemies?
I love a lot of things about the enemies. I'll start with the quote-unquote human-shaped enemies.
The dudes.
Because I personally think they give the most in terms of variety. Like, you have such a wide array of types of enemies. Like, you have the big guys, you have the little guys, the midgets that just fucking run at you.
with shotguns or
There's
explosives or
yeah, and
axes.
like the psychos and the burning psychos
Yeah.
and like just there's such a big variety there. You have like the normal like just bandit looking types or the military as we later experience. Um and just like I really love the enemy commentary of the human shaped
They
ones.
do say
Um
stuff.
they are, because they're, again, and it goes back to the humor. It's always really fucking funny when an enemy is shit talking you with 2% health left,
They're gonna say
and
the
you
2%
shotgun blast.
milk.
That too.
Where they got the high
Running at
ground
you with a
somehow.
gallon of milk. I heard you were
That
lactose intolerant.
that boy needs some milk. This is battle milk.
I'll kill you with self shitting.
Oh no. Watch out, the elf. It's time
but
for shit on the
but
shelf.
yeah, the oh, should we season you before we cook you? And then you
Yeah.
fucking blast them in the ass with corrosive acid.
Yeah.
Like it makes it so much funnier when they shit talk you and then immediately die.
It's great. One point in
As
the Let's Play, I was using corrosive on a dude, and he was like, "The fire! It burns!" I'm like, it's not fire, you idiot."
yes. Uh or some of the DLCs with the uh shooting them and then them being like, please kill me, and I'm just like, wish granted, I did in fact kill you, you're welcome. um but yeah, just some of the it's because it's things you don't expect to be like witty and funny until you're in the moment, and you're just like, oh my god.
One thing I gotta mention, unfortunately, I don't think we did the side quest for it, but there was a group of non-claptrapped bandits, and they're called the Default Band. Did we do a quest where we killed the Default Bandits? I don't think we did.
No, I don't think so. I think we just killed all of the claptrapped shit.
Yeah, and it's a nice little world building thing, tying back to the talking about how they broke up into tribes and clans, where the leader had a fucking tinfoil hat on and thought that was what protected him from claptrap.
His radio waves could not be detected.
Oh fuck! I should have worn that head through the last bits of the game. The tinfoil hat. I forgot that was one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, you had it for a little bit in the beginning, and it was funny.
Do you like how the game onboarded you to the game regarding combat and like enemy
Yeah.
variety increasing over time?
Yeah, dude, again, one of the things I love so much about the enemies, especially the fauna of the enemies, is just how different they looked from each other. Like, obviously not so much within the same species, I guess. Like, all the skags kind of relatively looked the same. Like, yeah, you had some with special tropes or whatever, but for the most part, they all looked pretty skag-like. But then you'd have, the dog-looking things, and then the crab-looking things, and then the spider-looking things, and it's just like,
Now that you've played all of it, finish your thought. But which one is the worst one now?
oh my god. Are we including or excluding the DLCs?
Everything. What's the worst bug? I know it's a bug.
The fucking drifters, dude.
Like in terms of like this would terrify. Like you would be in like absolute mortal fear.
I would piss and shit my pants in anxiety
Yeah.
if I saw one of those
40-foot tall
distance.
fucking water spider.
Dude, listen, and I say this as someone who like very much loves bugs, and I was the kid that would pick up the daddy long legs and take it outside because everyone else was afraid.
Yeah.
Or being like, that whole their fangs are too small. That's bullshit. I was that kid. Those fucking drifter things scare the absolute shit out of me. It is like genuinely watching. Have you ever seen those videos of like basically a daddy long leg nest, or like the American huntsman spiders for any of the foreign viewers.
I'm gonna answer all potential spider questions with absolutely not.
Yeah, okay, for the audience, if you want
Fuck,
to
did we even see
have a
any
new
nests
sleep
for the
paralysis,
drifters?
I don't think so. Thank
That's
God.
terrifying, but continue.
Yeah. Yeah, for the audience at home, if you want a new sleep paralysis demon, look up a daddy longleg nest or like bunch, and then look up the drifters from Borderlands, and tell me you can't see those massive creatures doing the exact same fucking thing outside your house.
I don't even know. Don't describe it to me, but I hate
I
it.
won't. As you should. It's
I
terrible to look at.
preemptively hate it. I feel like a
I
prejudiced grandpa at literally any cultural festival.
Right. I don't want to hear about it or their sexual activities or nothing.
Oh. But what were you about to say before I brought up what was the worst fucking bug?
Oh fuck, I don't even remember.
Awful. I guess the
Yeah,
variety. We were talking about variety. What do we say?
yeah, just the variety of enemies, especially the fucking. I think it's the Iridians, the
Yeah.
fucking space
I
dudes
love
with
them.
the horrifying people mask.
Hey, what fun fact am I about to say?
About your favorite artist, Brian Thompson,
Keith Thompson.
Keith Thompson.
He drew
I
them.
knew it was one of the Thompsons.
Yeah, he drew the Iridians, he drew their weapons. He also did some work on
Yeah.
Skyrim. There's an image of like a mammoth's desiccated like corpse. Like there's some bits that are still
Ooh,
fleshy. Like when
nice.
you see that like when animals eat at a corpse and like leaves like the skin and some of it there.
Yeah.
It's like that. And some people were like, "Ooh, is that a tentacle monster?" It's like, "Nah, dog, it's a mammoth's fucking rib cage."
Some people are just way too excited for tentacles. Which, I
Yeah.
mean, same, but
Circa
like, curb your
2000
enthusiasm.
yeah, circa 2010 people were crazy and wild for that shit.
Right, like this is not a space creature game. You gotta limit
This is
your
Skyrim. Which is
Yeah.
funny because in one of the DLCs we do eventually get tentacles.
Yeah. That's true.
But also, and this is a fun fact, I've been asked multiple times about covering Skyrim. It will happen, but I gotta cover
Correct.
Oblivion first.
Also correct.
Anything else about the enemy variety you want to talk about? Or enemies in general?
Really loved the also I agree with you. I fucking hate the scythids. Those things are
Yeah.
for me the second worst, but
They technically
a very close second.
when I said that they never return, I am slightly incorrect because they're in one of the Tales from the Borderlands, which we might cover, we might not cover. They're kind of plot relevant, but since the characters' characterization gets kind of massacred in the later games, it doesn't fucking matter, I don't think.
Yeah.
Except for how, I guess, fucking spoilers for a game that I'm pretty sure, I don't know, is like a decade old at least by now. Tales from the
Yeah.
Borderlands. Scooter fucking dies off screen from the main series.
Aw, poor Scooter.
He fucking explodes, and it's great.
Oh no! I thought you were gonna be like, oh, he gets killed by bandits and it's stupid. No, he fucking explodes.
Yeah, and it's a heroic moment.
like,
and he
and they-
goes out saying, I don't want to peak the mic, but imagine me screaming Catch a Ride as loud as I could.
Oh, a Scooter. We love you, Scooter.
I barely even know her. Which is funny
I did sit
because
on his lap a lot in
Yeah.
our playthrough.
I did scoot you around with the car.
Yes.
Oh, I
It
forgot.
was very fun.
As part of the enemy section, we gotta talk about, once the mouse works, bosses.
Yeah, the bosses were real fun.
Well, one of them wasn't.
Yeah, that's true. He was a bitch and a half.
Well, which one are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of, who the fuck did we fight in the car?
Oh, Mad Mel. Also,
That motherfucker.
just to double check, you can in fact see the script, right?
Yes, I can, and
Okay,
I
I
have been
wasn't sure.
gifted the I've been gifted the blessing of sight.
I wasn't sure because I'm like, I was kind of having you lead up to the first 3 words, but yeah, Mad Mel was a bitch to fight against. I fucking
It
hated dealing
would
with his
be
fuck
way
ass.
funnier though if up until this point I could not see, and
Yeah.
you're just like, yeah, fucking explain your thoughts on all this shit you can't see.
Anyway, Mad Mel, fucking asshole. He's in a car, and if your car blows up, you gotta be on foot, and he'll just run you over.
He is a one-hit kill if he catches you with even the
He was
fucking
probably
tire
top 3
hair in that
hardest
vehicle.
fights.
He is such a fucking pain in the ass.
Besides some of the Coliseum type of fights, I don't think we ever had multiple wipes where we had to redo it. Like against a boss.
Yeah. Yeah, most of the bosses, I don't even think.
Were that hard.
Yeah,
They're kind of just a slightly souped up badass.
pretty much, yeah. They're a badass with an actual name.
Speaking of, in 2, the bosses get better. They actually have like gimmicks in their fights and
Delicious.
shit. It's very. Are you just super excited?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Because we
I
fight.
forgot I have to be very aware of the noises I make as a woman online.
Oh. Because you kind of just like quietly whispered it as
Oh.
if somebody asked you if you want a Taco Bell or something.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I do want Taco Bell, but I also don't want the shits, so.
Fuck. Man, I could go for some Little Caesars.
Squeezers.
But the main boss, bad. Are the
Yeah.
they're the first 3 words in this part of the script. Would you like to
Yeah.
expand upon why main boss bad?
Okay, remind me which one's the main boss, because I forget the first one that we fight.
The giant eyeball.
Oh yeah, you're talking about, yeah.
The destroyer.
Listen, as someone who again went into this series relatively blind, like I remember watching you play it, but I don't think I ever watched you finish it. I think I just like casually watched you play.
Casually approach.
Yes. And I remember you at some point being like, do you want me to spoil the final boss for you? Because literally everyone who's played the game has been disappointed by it. And I was like, sure, because, you know, I don't really care all that much. I'm just having fun shooting enemies and shit.
Right?
And when I heard you say giant eyeball monster, I'm like, okay. I mean, story-wise, it's a little weird, yeah, but, like, that could be really cool. That could be a really cool fight. No.
Like a beholder or something.
Right, like, I was thinking, like, oh, it's gonna touch me with its fucking tentacles. No. It was a stand and shoot and then dodge, like, maybe once or twice, and then stand and shoot and dodge. And it's just, like, from a gameplay perspective and from a story perspective, it was all bad.
Yeah.
Cause, like, even the fucking rack hive, which I found fucking disgusting.
At least was interesting.
But yeah, like,
and
most of the
wildest
enemies...
part is there's not much difference between the 2 fights. It was...
Yeah!
It didn't move much, but at least it was interesting.
Yeah, like, it still at least, like, fought back.
Oh, also,
like,
fun fact before I forget about it. I forgot, the hive itself isn't, like... It's not, like, genetically related to the racks. The thing is that it's a symbiotic relationship.
I was gonna say, are the racks like parasitic in nature where they get all up in their holes and...
I don't know what I think it's just the fact that, you know, because like during the boss fight, the rack can go out and do stuff. Maybe they also like clean the rack hive.
Yeah.
Maybe they get food for it actually.
Yeah.
That could be good too. Anyway, continue. About the big fucking stupid ass fucking eyeball.
But yeah, just like it wasn't an interesting fight. It wasn't a particularly tough fight. I don't think either one of us actually even lost health during the entire fight. In fact, we lost more health fighting the fucking Iridians leading up to that battle.
That I got downed a few times.
Yeah, because those things fucking hit hard as shit, dude.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the eyeball, I think it broke shield a few times, but I don't think I ever got downed.
Yeah. And I'm just like, this is supposed to be the final big bad of the entire
I
series.
just
Like, this is
realized how it could have been made better. I don't want to spoil anything, but people who know more about the later games are going to be like, "Oh, that's already been done." In reverse context of just this game, what would have been cool as shit. Imagine if we actually had to fight Commandant Steel, but she gets the vault to open and then like pleads for the power to kill us. And so like a fucking Final Fantasy villain fuses with the destroyer and then becomes some fucking one-winged angel bullshit. Like a fucking
yeah,
meaty big woman.
kind of like Lady Dimitrescu in that recent fuck, I forget the
You know, it's
series
funny,
name.
it's not that recent. There's been a newer one.
Oh Jesus
Resident
Christ.
Evil.
Yeah, that's the one.
Um, the funniest part is
Oh, that's right,
um,
cuz fucking
the girl
Leon
one.
Kennedy came back.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, and everybody's
A
like,
little
"Oh, he's
fun fact
sexy."
is that I'm pretty sure you said her name wrong, but I also can't fucking pronounce it.
Yeah, I don't I'm just like, I heard someone say it that way once and I'm like, that's what it is
It's
now.
more European sounding, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think so.
It's got sounds I can't make with my mouth.
Yeah. It's how I feel every single time I accidentally read the Japanese instructions on anything, or I'm
Oh
just like,
no.
this is not English. I can't read this.
I like that you tried.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, these are funny looking words. Fuck, this is Japanese.
This is fucking kanji.
Oh no.
The storytelling sometimes with the lead up to the bosses is also pretty good. If you saw like a bunch of dead people before you got to the
Yeah.
boss, things like that, those really added up to it. So I have here three bosses: General Knox, Nine Toes, and Baron Flint. Presentation wise, they're all pretty good. I like how General Knox was set up. Nine Toes a really good intro, and Baron Flint had not the exaggerated swagger of an African American teenager, but he's got some swagger.
Yeah.
A yeehaw
Uh
kind.
I do think of at least of the ones I can remember, I think my personal favorite probably was General Knox,
Yeah.
just because of the first line you hear when you get to him about like I was hoping I'd already be dead before you got here,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, what the does that
Did you like that they
mean?
didn't remaster the fucking cutscenes apparently in the
Yes,
DLCs?
a lot of the big bosses were pretty cool, aside from the main big bad. Um, like even the fights were really fun. Like having to like looking at their different sort of arena types was really cool.
Right. General Knox was a big fuck off room, which eventually led to the treasure
Yeah, big
areas.
fuck
Nine
off
Toes
circle.
was his fucking dank cave. And
Yeah.
Baron Flint, he had one of the fucking best in terms of the lead up. He had Thor, the fucking oil rig, or whatever the fuck the land
Yeah,
based
that's
oil rig.
right.
If I remember right, where we were might have been previously an ocean or some shit, but I don't know how a planet. How the fuck would that work geologically speaking? If a planet thawed
Yeah.
out, it might be an ancient ocean because I think there's some like some of the things are ancient oceans.
I
But yeah, that doesn't really make sense. Anyway, it's time for section 9 where we finally talk about all the characters that'll show up later. So,
Yee.
should I just say a name and you start telling me what you think about them and I'll say what I think about them?
Sure.
Alright, we're gonna go one by one because it's easier for me to get footage of this shit. Though I say that, I guess it's because I look at you a lot of the time. Let's talk about Lilith.
Yes, I really love Lilith. Not only is she really fun to play as a character, she's very sassy. Like, and I say this as someone who almost exclusively plays as female characters in games.
Yeah,
Um, not only, especially because I like looking at ass, but not
yeah.
only because I like looking at ass. Um, in fact, I didn't even get to see a whole lot of her assets in this
It
particular
is
game,
unfortunate.
but I love her sass. I love her quote unquote Moxie. She's very spunky. I like her.
Yeah.
Um I also really love a lot of her dialogue. Um Not a super fan of her constantly trying to gaslight me into thinking a weapon is better than it is, but
This is
I
amazing!
yeah, I've never seen anything like it before. Yes, you have. You've picked up 4 SMGs exactly like it.
Dogshit SMG number 7.
Uh, more like 78.
Ugh. I, too, also enjoy Lilith, as she is in Borderlands 1. Her dialogue never really grates on me. She's pretty cool. She's the first siren that we get to meet. Technically, Commandant Steele is also a siren, but she fucking didn't get to do anything cool.
Yeah, except I.
Yeah, and she died in a really cool way too, if you really think about it, because
Yeah.
I I made a joke as it was happening.
Yeah, she gained an extra hole that day.
Yeah, because I was like, "Do you think she's penetrable?" And you were starting to be like, "No, not really." And then she gets stabbed, and I'm like, "Do you get it? Do you get it?"
Yes.
So yeah, I would say that Lilith is currently a pretty cool girl. You were also about to say that you like playing girl characters for their asses, and you're gonna say other qualities too. Were you about to say something like representation in gaming?
But I do also just love kind of uprooting the stereotype of like women not being good at games, even though I am kind of terrible at a lot of them, like depending upon the genre.
I'm gonna
Um,
do what that one fucking Chinese captain did to this fucking twink that joined his fucking unit. I'm gonna make a gamer out of you. And then I'm gonna get real
oh,
sad when I find out you're not secretly a twink.
oh no. Is it because I'm not a man? Does that disqualify me from twinkhood?
For Mulan, that's how it happened.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Cause he
It's
got
just like,
really, he got like all fucked up over. Oh, you're a woman.
yeah, that was so fucking funny to me that he was just like, "Oh, you're actually like a really great soldier, and I kind of love you a little bit." Fuck, you have tits.
I can't deal with this.
It's like,
But I was
wouldn't
gonna
that make
say
it
that
better? But
some games do exploration of sexism in interesting ways, but they also deal with
yeah,
race as well, because some
yeah,
fantasy games handle shit in interesting ways. They got Dragon Age, one of the best fucking fantasy things I like to play through for the story and all that. After Morrowind, for the Elder Scrolls, it's mostly uh the vibes and
yeah,
the fighting, and I can mod it to
yeah.
be better. One of the main issues, I think, is with the fact that a lot of stories are just about killing, so they have to then be like, okay, what sort of a character, what sort of person would do this? Probably a guy.
Which
Well,
I
it needs to be
mean,
marketable, so he's got to be white.
yeah. Which I mean, if you look at the statistics surrounding some current events,
Yeah,
he's actually
I'm currently in my.
hilariously more accurate than you'd think.
I'm glad that you didn't specify because I'm like, I don't know how
Correct.
much we can say. I think that might be enough for Lilith. What do you think of Mordecai?
Oh, Malachi is my favorite.
So from his quips and stuff, how would you describe his character? Because of the fact that there's not much character to these fucking characters in the first game.
He very much strikes me as the I'm only here because I'm paid to be here
He is, in
kind
fact,
of guy.
and part of the characters is learning more about them through their skills. The middle tree, which I didn't do much,
Yeah.
that focuses on Bloodwing, he is the rogue type. He is here to make money,
Yeah.
and he is here to do crits, and he is here to hunt things.
Yeah. And it's funny too because I remember mentioning, I think in the first episode, that visually he looks a lot like my dad, and I
Yeah,
think
he fucking does.
attitudinally he also very much is similar to my dad in the sense that he's not he's not a social butterfly. He'd rather be alone. He's the kind of guy who shows up to work, does his job, and leaves. Like, he doesn't want you to talk to him. He doesn't want to small talk. He's like, I'm here to get paid and go the fuck home.
Another thing about Mordecai, before I forget about it, is I guess canonically he doesn't like eating,
Yeah,
and that's why he's skinny.
yeah.
And I'm like,
Anorexia.
He loves
Ooh.
drinking, though.
I mean, who doesn't love drinking alcohol on an empty stomach? Don't do that, by the way. For the audience at home, if you
I
haven't experienced that particular hell, I can tell you secondhand, it's not fun.
I thought the joke was gonna be drinking water or just drinking liquids.
Yeah, I
How?
mean that also.
All right, Mordecai. From what I know of later in the games, he's an exploration of relationships, spiraling into mental illness and substance abuse, which runs in the family. So that's interesting stuff. Not a whole lot to go off of in the first game. He loves his rifle. He loves his bird. Nothing
Yeah.
to it, as the British say.
Yeah, he definitely strikes me um kind of as like he's sharper than people would think based on like looking at him. Um but he's also not the like brightest crayon in the box. Like he's smart in aspects you wouldn't expect. Like he's a very skilled marksman, which is really cool. It's funny because you know, our next character has sort of that in their name.
Marcus, the pseudo
I
Russian.
I love Marcus and whatever accent that is supposed to be.
Yeah. What do you like about Marcus?
He's just I love that he's kind of the only still like recklessly jovial guy in this
He is
fucking
kind of like the only
hellscape of
happy
a world.
person.
He's the only guy that's just like, welcome to my store, buy my shit, don't die because I need your I need your moneyage.
You, fuck, man. It's wild that the only fucking happy guy is this overweight divorcee.
Yeah.
Don't worry, he gets a ponytail later on.
Oh, good. What better to add to yet another white guy than a ponytail?
Not is you know what I mean by ponytail because he's like fucking 50. It's a small shitty
Yeah.
one. It's at the point. It's like if you have only that much hair, it looks better if it's just on your shoulders.
Yeah, dog. Like, just rock the long hair. Don't bother with the
Yeah,
ponytail.
only go with the ponytail once like the tail would extend beyond your shoulder blades.
Yeah. He kinda also does look a bit like Mordecai if he did in fact enjoy eating.
I
But like maybe a little too much.
didn't say enjoyed life.
Ew.
He looks like a fat fucked up Russian Nigel Thornberry.
A little bit, yeah.
Like
He
the
does
shirt.
give Yeah, he's got like feral wild man energy and I kinda love him for it.
Oh no. And speaking of the second game, there is a Nigel Thornberry sort of guy. He's pretty cool. He's also gay. You know who else could have
Yes.
been gay, but we don't know. We don't find out because of reasons. The
Uh
Guardian Angel.
Ooh.
What do you think of the bitch in her brain?
Oh, she's very pretty. I remember I can't remember what episode we were playing where she shows up.
I totally forgot
But
the
I remember
retcons happened.
being very very caught off guard and very easily distracted by the pretty blue lady talking in the corner of the screen.
It's like the fucking what is it, the Queen Pixie or whatever for Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Marilyn Monroe.
Yes. Delicious. She looks like she has creamy blue thighs. Anyway.
There
uh
is a detail that I know about. I can't say it without spoiling the second game. Should I just spoil it for the sake of making people listening not perturbed?
Sure.
I don't know if the Guardian Angel is of legal age as of
Oh
Borderlands 1
no.
because of a retcon.
I potentially retract my creamy thighs comment.
Because it's like, she might be 15.
Oh no.
But here's the issue:
I
is
was
that
gonna
they
say, is
retcon
that
for
in
it
people years or computer years? Because there's a
in.
difference.
It's complicated. I don't want to spoil too much, but basically, here's the thing: they didn't have any fucking plot for the second game planned out for at the end of the first one.
Yeah.
So all we know is that she is probably of legal age. Potentially, she's an AI or a satellite gone rogue.
Right.
Which I guess
Uh,
I guess spoiler for this fucking game.
yeah.
Imagine clicking on this and not having watched the game or played the game, and yet at the same time being pissed off about getting spoilers for the game. I don't get
Yeah.
that shit.
I don't get it either. It's like going to Subway and being pissed off that they have a foot long.
Yeah, why the fuck is there bread here? I didn't hear
Dare you serve sandwiches?
people who don't want spoiler.
My father died in a sandwich
No,
factory.
my thing. People who don't even want to see like the trailers for games to like learn anything about a game, or like look, they don't like want to read any articles about the game to like get details of like
Yeah.
how those people remind me of people that would order off of a fucking dinner menu and not even want to know the fucking like the name of the item.
Yeah.
Like,
It very much gives the energy of like, uh, you know what I like, order for me, and then not liking the thing. And
yeah.
instead of being a mature adult and be like, oh, maybe I should just order for myself next time, you bitch at your wife for ordering the quote unquote wrong thing. It strikes me as grow the fuck up energy.
You know who else might need to grow the fuck up and gives us excellent what's the fucking word?
uh
Segue.
uh 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 Heanisms?
What?
Claptrap.
Claptrap.
That fucking obnoxious little asshole.
What are your thoughts
I
on
think I love him
Yeah.
because he's the crackhead of the series where like you just really love to hate him.
So you think that he's already annoying now?
Yes, he is a respectable amount of annoying in the sense that like I respect the game company for willingly making a character this annoying and having the game still do well.
What are your thoughts on him after finding out that he tried to become an interplanetary ninja assassin?
I mean, about the same reaction I had to finding out that Papa John dropped the N-word in a business conference.
Oh no.
It's like, it's unfortunate, but I felt a disturbance in the force. I knew this was coming.
Yes. You knew that Papa John was secretly going to be racist all along.
Mm.
What the wildest part was that the business meeting, they had to have a second one to bring up the fact that he kept fucking saying it.
Yeah.
They had the regular business meeting, and then they had the racism discussion.
It would have been really funny if the recording that actually dropped exposing that he uses the N-word was in fact the meeting where they're just like, Papa John,
yeah,
you need to stop using the N-word.
And he was like, why?
Right.
It's like Father Jonathan. Mind you, if I remember right, he named himself Papa John when he was like 22.
Yeah, he did.
Fucking weird. You know who else is a little...
He did not deserve the popification.
Do you know who might deserve...
Stolen valor.
Do you know who doesn't have stolen valor? Dr. Zed. He only has a stolen license. I might not have a med school degree.
Well, he also, you know, works in the wasteland, so...
Do you think he was a prisoner? I feel like he was a prisoner.
He probably was.
He feels like a former prisoner.
Fact, there is, I think, a category of serial killer that I think he probably would have been in a normal society, but because it's the wasteland, it's probably fine.
Doctors that off their patients?
Even worse. I feel like he would be a butcher in the sense that, like, he's not actually in medicine to help people, he's into medicine because he likes learning how the body reacts to being amputated.
Speaking of white dudes, though, you know how Zed is a white dude?
He sure
If I
is.
remember right, he's a reskin of the original design for Roland, back when Roland was going to be a fucking cracker.
Oh no, not
I
a fucking cracker.
forgot to put Roland on here because he in fact does show up
Yeah.
later, but we don't get much detail because we didn't. Neither of us played as him.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are your thoughts on Zed? He doesn't really do much because we didn't do the one DLC, which might not be canon.
Yeah. I personally really liked Zed. I think he was a really cool way to put a face to some of the like vending machine things.
Right.
Um like you're just cuz like there are some games that like just don't explain those like stock up boxes, which is
Yeah.
fine. But I do really have like um a personal attachment to the places that do. So like having like run into him first and then immediately seeing the med box and you're like, "Oh, that's why those exist here." I think that's really cool.
You know who isn't pretty cool?
Uh
Tannis.
McTannis.
Patricia Tannis. Chairfucker extraordinaire.
Oh no.
What are your thoughts
Uh
on this insane white woman?
uh you know, having had you tell me from the beginning that's like, oh, don't worry, she gets progressively more insane. Because I remember, I think the first time we heard her speak, you were like, so, what are your thoughts on Tannis? What do you think she's like? And I'm like, she sounds a little off her rocker, but you know, so far she seems all right. And you're like, oh, don't worry, she gets worse. And I'm like, oh, good. And then of course we heard the chair fucking 9,000, and I'm like, oh no. He was right.
She does it all over. And
Oh
she is, in
man.
fact, relevant to the rest of the series until potentially 4. I don't know if she's in 4 proper.
Yeah, I am, however, quite glad that when we do finally meet her face to face, that her office is not more mysteriously white.
And sticky.
Mm, sticky.
You know who, in fact, might need a stick for his pet skag?
Yeah, for Scrappy.
Yeah, Scrappy!
Scrappy McDougal.
So, what words do you have regarding this Earl of Crazy?
I mean, I find it kind of funny that he's somehow less crazy Earl than Scientologist Earl, um, which I find a sweet irony in that I enjoy.
That's such a great fucking
Um,
wordplay, by the way. It took me a couple seconds to realize you weren't just calling Tannis Scientology Earl.
yes.
Holy
Um,
shit.
but yeah, I love that he. I feel like he's the one I relate to the most in terms of character. Of I just want to be left alone with my dog.
You
The
want to be
rest of the world can fuck off.
eating fucking red meat and drinking beer all day? You're gonna get fucking
Uh,
gout.
yeah. But then again, he's also isn't he also like uh not a crackhead because crack doesn't exist in this world, but
Yeah.
isn't he some kind of severe addict to something other
He
than
seems like
booze
he would be.
and meat?
Where the fuck does he get. I can't get over the money. Where does money come from? Whose money? Who prints this
Yeah,
money? But also, where the fuck does Crazy Earl get money?
yeah, and like also, if money is such a useful thing in this world, why is it constantly found in trash cans and toilets?
Imagine if they put vendor trash in there instead. You know, like items that have value, but they're not useful for like mechanical aspects.
Right, that'd be really cool.
Like used porn mag, and then
Oh no.
non-used porn mag.
No.
Wait, you know, is it funnier
I
to
can
only
only imagine the flavor text for those particular items.
imagine if smell-o-vision existed?
Oh god.
Yep, that smells like salty bleach.
Smells like dried cum. How do you know what that smells like? I plead the fifth.
I think that Crazy Earl proves time and time again to appear in the games. I don't know if he's in 4. 4 kind of is a
Honestly,
soft
I think
reboot.
he is my favorite of the crazy characters because he's crazy in a I make moonshine and maybe meth in my home kind of way, whereas Tannis is crazy in a conspiracy theory having sex with her furniture kind of way.
Yeah, that does sound like a thing a conspiracy theorist would do.
Yeah,
But
I mean, when no one else will have sex with you, why not fuck the furniture?
yeah, they're not indoctrinated by the CIA. Yeah,
Which, by the way, is insane.
unfortunately, due to Audacity deciding to fuck up, I don't have the original audio for the next parts. It just kind of cuts off. So I'm gonna go over our thoughts on Moxxi and Scooter. I have originally forgotten to put Scooter even in the list, and during the recording, remember that Scooter even existed. Regarding Moxxi, my cousin says that while not a great role model, she is a pretty fantastic character, super spunky and fun despite her poor taste in men. And regarding Scooter, she said that he is by far one of her favorite characters, a little odd, but in a nice comic relief sort of way. And she absolutely loved his dialogue. I think that, similar to what she said, that Moxxi is a pretty fun character. Knowing what I know about the later games, she is an excellent exploration to different methods of disassociation regarding the horrid situations that she finds herself in. Her son, Scooter, is a mechanic redneck who I think he's generally portrayed as knowing what the fuck he's talking about. So, unlike a lot of hillbilly types of mechanics in media, he is well talented within his purview. Besides that, he is generally one note. All sorts of hillbilly stereotypes come cropping up throughout the games that he's in, which is 1 and 2. I don't think he's in the pre sequel. And as I believe we spoke about earlier, something happens to Scooter later on, and somebody else has to take on his role in the series. So that's covering the characters that return in later games. Next up, I'll be talking about how there is, in fact, no heaven on the county road. I've spent the last few days or so racking my brain around how best to discuss the criminality that can be found within rural areas, because that's the best way to compare Pandora's state of being, at least as of Borderlands 1. I grew up and was raised around petty criminals pretty much all my life. My old man, being a trans masculine dude, he was out and about for about 30 years or so before he died, possibly a little bit sooner than that. He spent most of his life in this county where I think he died outside of it, but functionally speaking, it never really left him. This area that my family has been in from both sides of my family, it's complicated, but genetically speaking, I am tied to his side of the family, and then there's my birth giver side of the family, also full of criminals of varying degrees. Drug abuse, theft, murder, even. I have a great uncle or just an uncle. I can't quite remember. Most of the both sides of the family are dead or dying or in some state of decay, especially of those generations. But the bandits of Pandora are those left behind by a corporation that didn't want to deal with them and is sort of a fuck you towards the Atlas Corporation. That being the Doll Corporation, who use them as functionally slave labor to mine I believe at the time of the writing of Borderlands 1, iridium. I think that's the chemical. That's the element or whatever. But through retcons and whatnot, all things can be attained. The core of the issue is that those in power failed those that were at their whim and left to their own devices in a hostile area. It is no surprise that many of them fell into madness and into mayhem. Besides the maddening effects of the discovery of what would lead to the vault, these were people who already were violent criminals, generally speaking. I believe most, or if not most, all of this, or rather, I believe all, or not most of the psychos were the more violent sorts of criminals. And as the bandits slowly formed their clans, and as the less violent criminals, as well as former personnel of Dahl, supplementary people, Tanis, though she's an outlier, they would form their own towns where they would go on to try and survive on Pandora. Alongside, well, not really alongside, because the bandits kept on preying upon them. This helps show that even outside of the context of a government or a corporation, that people will always, when not prevented from doing so, cause harm to each other. The criminal element in this county is it's almost an open secret. The police know about the meth labs. I'm not sure regarding the prostitution, since there's not so much of it. It's more of a private, personal manner than something that leaves an area stinking and causes a whole lot of deaths. The heroin trade as well. There was a spike of heroin cut with rat poison, which is, thinking back on the playthrough, there was that guy trying to sell these plants that was killing people. My family generally were addicts themselves. My birth giver and my old man both died due to their drug addictions, though my old man's death may have been induced through spiking of his supply. Growing up in these conditions, they are. It is. I've been described as an outlier myself, although they wouldn't use those words. I am a white sheep of sorts. I didn't fall into drug addiction. I haven't been arrested. The only reason why my fingerprints are on record is because they were trying to identify who knocked up my birth giver. Like I said, it's a complicated thing. There seems to be no relief from the economic disparity found within this county. The roads crumble in portions. They are lined with houses going on through different stages of decay. Houses that are burned are often just left half rubble because they can't afford to tear them down. They're just abandoned. There are party houses formed where the shells of former lives once were. On Pandora, these small kingdoms, these fiefdoms, are formed by criminal overlords. The most violent or the most persuasive, generally both of the bandits, form their own little areas of control. Throughout the first game, we wipe out a fair amount of them out. But in the later games, we'll see that, as it is where I live, there is no respite to be found. There is no rest for the wicked. There is no future for Pandora. Pandora, not just because of the, well, I guess it's also because of the thing of like the writing, right? It's more like Berserk, where it's like it's integral to the setting that everything's shitty. Long story short, for Berserk, humanity makes things shitty. I don't want to spoil too many things, but, and in fact, in a way, that is how it is in real life, isn't it? I mean, when people say that hell is other people, It's supposed to mean like one philosophical thing, but people construe it to mean something else. But it can still function as a our perils are created and reinforced by those around us. Or in a way you could say that the reflection of our own shortcomings can be found in others, their judgments of us being the hell that we live in. But more practically speaking, the roads crumbling, the houses not being able to sustain life anymore, businesses shuttering. These are caused by a combination of both those in positions of power who allow this to happen under their watch and those that are under the boot of these people. Without working together, people cannot improve their livelihoods, their societies, their villages. Through working together, we can improve our qualities of life. We can act against those in positions of power. And maybe we can, in fact, build ourselves a little chunk of heaven right here on the country road. Up next will be a discussion on how Borderlands has impacted the both of us. Myself, potentially more so than her, since this is her first playthrough, and she doesn't have the memories of playing through it with her friends growing up. But I'm still interested to hear what she has to say regarding what Borderlands means to us. Borderlands 1 was in my top 10 favorite games for a very long time. Most likely because it was like the only first person shooter in which I could just sit there and play through. I think that in the greater context of the series, there's more meaning to me, but in and of itself, my memories of it are mostly of I beat the game fully. That you only go through the story twice, and then you get to just play through it. Like it's just like an there's no third playthrough like in the other games, I guess. And I would just play through in that open. I would do in the arid Badlands and stuff, and I would just put on a Caged Elephant album ripped to my Xbox 360, and just zen like just play through, shoot dogs and shoot dudes in the face. It was good fun. I would do that for hours, but it's not the Red Dead Redemption 1 online. I had over a month logged in, far more than I had for Borderlands 1. So in terms of shoot things as a game to play, that's Borderlands. I mean, Red Dead Redemption 1 is the thing. I had to cover that game eventually, but I do still have a fondness regarding it for how I played it through on the summer break with the one friend. And I don't know if it's too early to talk about how Borderlands 2 ties into it. My old man went to the midnight launch for Borderlands 2 because I couldn't skip the next day. This wasn't Skyrim. I couldn't skip the next fucking day. I could not. So he went to the midnight launch of Borderlands 2 to get Borderlands 2 for me. So the series overall I have an affinity for. Cousin Dandy of mine, what does Borderlands mean for you? What throbs in your heart for this game?
Oh no. Well, I mean, obviously, I don't have the same like emotional connection to it
Yeah.
because I was a mere bab
Yeah,
when you were playing upon this
yeah, I was
series.
playing it with my friend of Spanish background with tiny nipples.
Oh no, not the tiny
He
nipples.
he canonically had tiny Spanish nipples. Like whenever we went swimming, they were tiny.
Did they get smaller each time he was shirtless?
I assume so. He played soccer. I
Oh
don't know if the
no.
soccer shirt was slowly wearing down his nipples.
It's like sandpaper just
Yeah,
slowly grinding them away.
yeah. That's why you gotta wear tape on them like runners do.
Oh no.
Like
And
competitive.
strippers.
Yes. Oh man, imagine combining the two. Imagine being good at cross country slash
I
track
thought you were gonna
and
say, imagine being a competitive stripper. Who
it's
can get naked the fastest?
oh fuck. And you gotta dress up like a Kingdom Hearts 2 character.
God!
So many zippers and belts.
We now need the stripper Olympics.
Is it a
I would
bad
watch that.
is it a bad sign that when we're supposed to be talking about what Borderlands 1 means to us,
I
we're
mean,
talking
listen, we
about
have more of a story than Borderlands
they do.
does.
The story might be bullshit in Kingdom of the Hearts, but at least there's its
Yeah,
story. I play games for their story and their characterization. You know what Borderlands 1 doesn't have a whole lot of?
either of those.
Yeah. It doesn't help that the more research I do, the more ramshackle this game is. They had more story and cutscenes and stuff, but they cut that
Yeah,
out for time.
yeah,
I still wish that we had One Wing Angel, Commandant Steel.
yeah.
That would have been dope as fuck.
Hell yeah.
Imagine her being fleshy and just like writhing on the ground
Oh
and then
no.
getting back up and then fighting us.
Oh no.
Oh hell. But she was just a reskinned Atlas ninja bitch.
Yeah,
She didn't
yeah.
even have siren powers. Is it because she's dead?
I hope so.
Anyway, what what words do you have to say regarding Borderlands 1?
Uh, so I'm trying to avoid repeating literally the same words I just said 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Um, but like I did really, really enjoy our playthrough of it.
Yeah.
It's again one of those games that I probably wouldn't have thought much about. Like
Yeah.
I would have seen the art for it and been like, "Oh, that's cool," but it's not something I ever would have played unless you had been like, "Hey, do you want to play this game with me? Because it has co-op and it's something to do together because we're very far away."
Yeah.
Um, but like playing through it, I did really love the characters. They feel, I mean, I hesitate to say they feel like real people. They feel like real people from 2009. Um
I feel like something bad's gonna happen. I just got a bunch of messages from people that don't message me on their own,
Oh
being like,
no.
I'm like, am I gonna explode?
Is today the day of dooms?
Because normally I'm the person that messages people, and I'm like, man, she hasn't messaged me of her own accord in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Do they know something that I don't?
I don't know. It's kind of like how 6 days ago now I was thinking, man, it's great I've never gotten jury duty. And then I got jury duty summons a few days
No!
ago.
Oh, jury duty heard you.
Jury duty, blackmail, pink slip,
Jury
or
duty.
whatever.
Pink slip, yeah.
Yeah.
Hate, hate, hate. Double hate. Loathe entirely.
He can just make that
Hopefully I
face,
didn't
by the
speak
way.
for shit. Yeah, he apparently does that face to his grandkids every time they call him grandpa.
Oh no.
And honestly, I'm just like, I wish Jim Carrey was my grandfather because that sounds fucking hilarious.
Oh, imagine you doing that at grandpa.
Oh no. While they're in the nursing home.
Yeah, the nursing
Who
home
are
they can't
you?
afford. Okay, so okay, I guess what are some highlights from the playthrough for you?
I really love the banter between characters. Like both like I don't think our characters like directly interact, but like
Okay, but
they
here
say shit that could be
I need to remind you something. I don't think any two people spoke
yeah.
together in this game, did they?
I think when you pick up quests sometimes the characters speak to you.
They'll speak
And
to
you can
you,
like
but NPCs don't talk
yeah.
together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that like some of the lines sound really funny.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Especially like they sound
Like,
normal enough that like if you were by yourself you'd be like, okay, why are you talking to yourself? But when there is another player you're like, okay, kind of sounds like they could be talking to the other player.
the
Like
Tannis steals
Mordecai, I did please tell me I remembered his name right this time.
Mordecai, yeah. Do you remember your character's name?
Lilith,
Yes.
yes.
Before I forget, you remember
Anyway,
when
Malachi was great.
Tannis, do you remember when Tannis stole that one girl's arm?
Yeah.
Cyborg woman?
And then gave some random guy her underwear for seemingly no reason.
I think you're gonna say for semen.
Oh, that too.
Seemingly no reason.
Oh no. But yeah, like hearing him say, hey, take a look at this, or check this out,
Yeah.
when you would throw me guns,
Yeah.
or, you know,
The crits.
making quips at, killing enemies so big, so angry, so
What's
dead.
wild, I looked it up. his voice actor for this is Hispanic, and then they replace him with a
Nice.
fucking white guy who puts on a more Hispanic accent
Oh no,
for the
that's
future
the
game.
worst kind of white.
And I've looked up this guy. He looks nothing like Mordecai. He's a big, like, chonky dude. He's been in some. He's like a
Uh,
character actor. I can't remember his name.
you know what's kind of funny? Not to stereotype or anything, but now finding out that Mordecai, not Malachi,
Yes.
is like voiced by someone who is Spanish, he
Yeah.
does sound and look like every single Spanish man I've ever met.
How many men
Which
have
is,
you?
granted, is not a lot. It's like, I think I know like 3 possibly Spanish people.
He also does kind of look like your dad.
Yeah, he looks like my dad if he were Spanish.
It is wild to think that your dad has tried crack, and also he
And
looks
so
like
has
Mordecai.
Mordecai.
I don't think Mordecai's tried crack, but they were both also alcoholics. I don't want to spoil things,
Yeah.
but Mordecai does eventually come to grips with his alcoholism.
Oh wow, they actually have surprisingly a lot in common then.
Yeah, as I mentioned, I think somewhere in this video I mentioned that he's been clean for what 3, 4 years now or some shit like that.
Hey.
Your dad, not Mordecai.
He's never clean. He lives in the wasteland.
You're not wrong. He's a nasty boy.
Do you think soap exists out here in the desert?
Filthy little bird boy.
Oh no, not the Birdman. uh, you know what though? Ironically, Bloodwing would be very clean because birds bathe in dust. It helps keeps the mites away.
But when we get in a vehicle, Mordecai says, "Let's get out of the dust." So which is it? Is my bird bathing or is my bird dust deprived?
Oh no, he's neglecting his burb dust. It's like when you have chinchillas, you have to provide them dust or they can fucking die of chinchilla dysentery or something.
What fucking dust? Like wood? Like
yes,
what?
like you can't get them wet. They're like like mod
Gremlins or whatever?
Yeah, you can't bathe them because they'll get like hypothermia or some shit.
Why are chinchillas? Don't people eat them?
Somewhere probably. You
Yeah.
want to know something that's extra confusing? Chinchilla is also a color pattern.
Oh.
In like rabbits and shit.
Okay.
And I only know that because
I
I've now
vaguely heard of
acquired
that. Yeah.
bits.
Your rabbit Playboy.
Yes, I have a Rex rabbit named Playboy because I'm blonde and you know we come from a
Boobs.
family of avid porn watchers.
Yeah. Our family is canonically horny.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's a blessing and a curse.
Oh no.
I don't know.
But yeah, he's a Rex rabbit, which comes in a color pattern called chinchilla. And I'm like, it's just like a like gray steel kind of color. That makes it look like a chinchilla, the animal, not a chinchilla, the rabbit color.
What does are they just big? Are Rex rabbits the big ones?
They're like, I would say technically medium-sized. Like, I think the really big boys you're thinking of are Flemish giants.
Okay, that sounds about right.
Those are like a dog-sized rabbit.
I meant just like the one that like a kid would need to hold with both their arms.
Yeah, I would say Rex rabbits fall in that category.
Yeah.
I need to hold him with 2 arms or he kicks the fucking shit out of me, dog.
Oh, they don't like uppies?
No. As
like back
are
support and
most
shit?
animals. Yeah. Hilariously though, you know that thing that sharks do if you flip them on their belly? Like they get hypnotized?
Wasn't it their nose? They'd be upside down.
Yeah, you can like flip them over.
Yeah.
But rabbits kind of do the same thing. If you like flip them on their back, they basically enter stasis essentially.
Is it just like a I'm dead now thing?
Yeah, they kind of just are like, what is happening?
I guess I'll die.
Yeah, they pretty much just give up until you flip them back over and they're like, fuck, I'm not dead. I guess I run away. And that's how a lot of people like clip rabbit nails, is they just flip them on their back in their lap or something. And
like Galapagos turtles. Man,
yes.
we can't get any of these bitches back. And then somebody's like, well, why not? It's like, they're so tasty.
They're so tasty.
I can't stop eating them.
I can't stop eating them. Oh,
Charles
imagine being
Darwin.
so tasty your whole species goes extinct.
Man, fucking Tasmanian devils. I
Oh,
wonder if they tasted good. Fucking, what's that one bird? The dodo. Man,
dude,
I hope
I
we can
bet
bring them
dodos
back.
tasted
We
delicious.
gotta bring back. We gotta bring them back via genetic manipulation, and then deep fry them bitches. We gotta be able to. There's gotta be a
I
way.
really love the idea that genetic manipulation is just like emotional manipulation,
Yeah,
but done by scientists.
yeah, yeah. Come back to life. Stop being
Yeah.
cells.
If you were good enough, you'd be alive again.
There's gotta be enough bones with juices in them.
No. They
I'll
did
do.
apparently discover still something blood in a T-Rex fossil, I think.
That's great. We should bring them back.
Yes.
But we should make them
And
really, really
feed the
small.
rich to them. Oh
I mean,
no.
you're not wrong. We should feed the rich to T-Rexes. That does sound fucking amazing.
I would pay to see that.
Yeah. I don't get it how apparently in the movies they're like, yeah, people are bored of dinosaurs. They don't want to go to our fucking zoos anymore. I'm like, the fuck you mean?
Yeah.
People go to normal zoos. What do you mean they don't want to go to dinosaur
Yeah,
zoos?
like dog, that's the innate flaw in humanity is we will always fucking love giant lizards.
Yeah. That's why people want to fuck Bowser.
Yeah,
And
a lot of
Godzilla.
people. Yeah.
So
That is,
anyway.
in fact, why there's a category of things called monster fuckers.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say more specifically, like a subcategory of some sort.
Well, isn't there subcategories of furries called scalies?
They are in
where
fact
do...
scalies.
Mm,
I don't know what you'd call an
scales.
amphibian, like a slippy,
Oh, a slimy.
a slimy. Oh,
Ew.
anyway,
Ew.
should we? I don't know. I feel like we've drained Borderlands 1 for all its. What are
Yeah.
your feelings regarding the future of playing Borderlands games? What are you most? We already kind of talked about that, but what are you looking? I don't know. Any final words on Borderlands before we do the the outro happens?
Mostly just that, like, I'm really excited to play the other games.
Yeah.
Cause this game made an impression for sure.
Yeah.
What exactly that impression is, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
But I do look forward to playing the other games and seeing some of the other characters, cause, obviously, I am more familiar with some of the later games and some of the more, like, prominent characters in those, so I'm excited to see those and how...
Can you name literally any of them?
Handsome Jack.
Fuck!
I'm blonde, but I'm not that blonde.
I was like, fuck, he is famous.
He's literally the only other one beside Moxxi that I can name. He's literally the only one.
You want to know a horrible fun fact?
What?
Well, I'll give you a hint. You just mentioned two characters. What do you think the fun fact is?
That Handsome Jack isn't in fact handsome or jacked.
Okay, he's not handsome. I think he has abs, but unfortunately, you know what Moxxi does.
Does she die?
No! Well,
okay, good.
I don't think she does. No, she fucks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
She do be fucking.
Well, fuck it. We already said he died earlier, right? We already talked about the one character that died.
Yeah.
Alright, her son's gonna die.
Off camera, unrelated to the plot.
Yeah, well, technically it's not on a base game. It's not like, it's in a fucking Telltale's game.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck it, have him explode.
I feel less bad about sitting menacingly in his lap this whole time.
Yeah, fucking face-sitting him. Anyway.
Everybody's gotta get one good experience before they die, right?
Yeah. I don't know, I guess, Borderlands. It's horny.
See, if anyone at home is having unfortunate thoughts about themselves, just think, you're someone's incredible fuck someday, so stay alive for that.
Unless you don't know what the clitoris is. Or the anus. I feel like there's a bigger issue
Yeah.
if you don't know what the butthole is.
Yeah, because, like, literally everybody
Well,
has.
some people were born with it sealed, so they had to get it cut.
Yeah.
Poor Johnny
There's
No
a
Ass.
there's a lady I follow on TikTok who had to have hers zippered shut.
What?
I love the amazingly long, uncomfortable silence after that
The
sentence.
zipper, her vagina?
No, her butthole.
Oh, why did she have to have it? Oh, did she tear it open?
Kind of, yeah. Like, she had one part of her intestine fail, and then she
Right.
shat out the other half,
That'll do it.
doing normal day things, and they're like,
Yeah.
what if we just remove this from the equation?
Yeah. I assumed it had to do with sex somehow, because I just brought up how Borderlands is pretty horny.
It is.
It's horny, it's funny at times, it's violent, it's all the things that a growing teenager needs. Too bad
It's
I'm
horny,
32.
it's anus, it shows you how to place things in your anus.
Fantastic. You know what? That's a great segue into the outro. Still, due to a lack of having the space currently, I have not made a small shrine for my old man yet. So to the digital world, these couple of Mad Mercs goes. I'd like to thank you for watching, as well as my current patrons, over on Patreon. There's only 2 at the moment, but their support still means a lot to me. Their names are Connor and Leon, and I'd like to thank them for their continued support. If you'd like to support me, there is a link to my Patreon in the description of this video. My next big video will be on the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, a story about how Order 66 wasn't all that effective, from what I've heard. Unfortunately, it wasn't ready to start by the 4th, but time is a fickle bitch, just like Star Wars' current owners. My old man loved him some War in the Stars. Too bad Star Trek doesn't have any good games. See you next time, and until then, stay safe, stay strong, and remember that trans rights are human rights.
Or I bites.